Oh God of creation, direct our noble cause. Guide our lead us right, help our youth the truth to know. In love and honesty to grow and live in just and true. Great love the eyes unchained to build a nation where
autobiography that was to tell his life story. But on the 3rd of July, Peter Rufai passed away. He was Nigeria's first choice goalkeeper at 2 FIFA World Cups, USA 1994 and France 1998. And he played at 4 African Cup of Nations tournaments, winning the 1994 edition with the Super Eagles.
He was a man that was 100% dedicated to motherland. A young man who was committed to national assignments. There was no time he was called upon that he didn't show up.
His professional career saw him play for clubs in Belgium, the Netherlands, and Spain. After he retired from active football, Peter, a prince of the royal house in Idimo, Lagos, set up the Star of Football Academy, where he continued to inspire, mentor, and nurture young footballers. Read a tribute by Nigeria's President Tinubu. Fondly called Dodo Mayana by fans, his death becomes the sixth from Nigeria's famous class of 1994.
You're watching The World with me, Charles Aniegolu. Now, a Nigerian-born lawyer and politician has made history as the first Nigerian to travel to space. Owolabi Salis was among 6 passengers aboard Blue Origin's space mission, which lifted off from West Texas last Sunday. The 10-minute suborbital flight took the crew past the Kármán line, the internationally recognized boundary of space, reaching a peak altitude of just over 105 kilometers. Mr. Salis joins the ranks of citizen astronauts who ventured into space under the new Shepard program, a private space flight initiative by Blue Origin, the aerospace company founded by Jeff Bezos. Mr. Salis said the journey was not just a scientific expedition, but a spiritual one, describing it as a call to inspire future generations. And you probably can't see him, but he's one of those in that pod that's making a slow descent to Earth after that space trip. Amazing, isn't it?
The other big news today, Donald Trump's flagship spending bill has passed its final legislative hurdle, squeaking through the US House of Representatives after 2 days of high political drama.
The yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
Well, in the end, only 2 Republicans voted against, following massive efforts to bring holdouts on side. It means that Mr. Trump's deadline of Independence Day on the 4th of July tomorrow has been met, despite a delaying tactic by the Democratic House leader. Hakeem Jeffries, who gave the longest speech in the chamber in recent memory, was finally finishing on his feet before the vote was pushed through. The bill, which includes sweeping cuts to taxes and federal programs, is now expected to add trillions of dollars to national debt. It goes to Donald Trump tomorrow to sign into law. Well, this is the scene live in Congress, where we've just seen Speaker Mike Johnson. You can see him there in the centre of the screen. He has just announced in the last few minutes that the vote was passed, 218 yay, 214 nay, as they put it. And
so good evening, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm a bit in the darkness. It's funny because I have a bit more light here, but somehow I'm still in the dark. I just need to clarify some things before we go ahead. Just to be sure, is everyone hearing me? I know my voice will be different because I'm using a different mic. Can you hear me?
Well, I can hear you, forefathers.
I can hear you.
I hear you. Perfect.
I hear you.
All right. Thank you for that.
I hear you, Madam.
All right. So welcome, gentlemen, and the absent ladies. You're always welcome too. Even if you're not here, you're always welcome. Yeah, this is interesting because this week I'll not welcome the AI. First of all, I would like to pay tribute on behalf of Dr. Damages and all the elite panelists here to the goalkeeper, the Nigerian goalkeeper. What is that? Rufai. Well, I don't know his other name. What is your other name?
Peter Rufai.
Peter Rufai. Peter Rufai.
Peter Rufai.
Peter Rufai, yeah. So let's pay tribute to his family and with them condolences on their loss. And I think it's a loss for the Nigerian people too. And hopefully, this may inspire a new generation to be able to do something remarkable like they did. Their generation really did Nigeria proud for quite a long time. They did put in a lot of work, and he is by far the most remarkable goalkeeper Nigeria has ever had. So we have to give him the respect, and I hope the Nigerian government follows suit to really remember him for the contributions that he has made to the country. Let's now go to the main topics of the day. From the title, as indicated, the Trump has a big win. I think it's a budget, big, beautiful budget. Only Trump can make something like that up. But it is beautiful and it is big. So
get it right. Get it right. Big beautiful bill.
Big beautiful bill. Okay, yeah, big beautiful bill.
No, one big beautiful bill.
Nice.
One big beautiful bill act.
Yeah, he's gotten that across, and him and Elon Musk, they are fighting over this. This is one bill that seems to be quite controversial for him, because he's gotten it through, but the damage it may do may outlive him, and so outlive his time in office. Let's put it that way. Also, the spat is having with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is going to be looking to a kind of fund candidates that are against Trump's interest now. So, and Trump is threatening to deport Elon Musk. It's all right. If they deport him back to South Africa, I'm sure he'll be welcome after he has tried to badmouth South Africa as much as he wants. So, yeah, don't put it beyond Trump. Trump is very powerful right now. The Supreme Court has also given him a lot of power. So that is one of the main news. And Tinubu went to St Lucia. I don't know whether you all saw the video. He went to represent Nigeria. I must say, I don't think he did anything wrong there. He did most of the stuff right. He made all the right noises. And so maybe we'll touch on that. I'm not sure it's very major. You never know, because that thing can spill into all kinds of discussion about what the president should be doing about the diaspora, instead of just going to a country made of about 200,000 people. But that is that. St. Lucia is a great country, and they are one of those shining lights in the Caribbean. All right, so the next one is ADC. ADC, and that's going to be a big one, because they are gearing up for the next election now, and all the alignments are beginning to take place. So I didn't watch the first session, so I don't necessarily know what grounds have been covered on that. I'm sure Nigerians would have trashed that thing to the ground already. So let's see where we go from here. Let me bring it back to the normal area so that we can look at these things. Okay. Which area do we go to? Have we spoken about the ADC bit already in the first session? Just to confirm.
Yes.
Yes, we did a little bit of it in the first session.
A little bit of it.
Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't exhaustive.
It wasn't exhaustive. Okay. Let's touch on it. And before we...
Masca and Mr. Chike have not, they were not on that section, so you might start with them first.
That's very, very generous of you. And welcome, Mr. Chike, Enyawo, and Masca. Masca is obviously an illustrious and elite member of this channel. He has very, very insightful opinions on these issues. And Chike has disappeared. Chike, if you are there, you can come back. Omori is backstage. I was coming in too. So, Masca, what do you make of this ADC, this thing coming together, coalition? Don't you think that they don't have a choice? Otherwise, Tinubu is just going to run, rush, just completely decimate the opposition if they don't come together. What do you make of it?
Oh, well, thank you, forefathers. Good to see you once again. And good evening, everybody. Ovie, Tony, Omorui. I hope I pronounced the name correctly.
Omorui, yeah.
Omorui. Okay. All right.
Make I tell you how accurate you are. Kafi Burantaba Nono.
Shake Ovi. All right. I've watched a couple of videos around the coalition. I've actually been following the progress of the coalition, More so because I had a politician who is more like a friend who actually was very much interested in the coalition. So my take actually it's a bit nuanced. Sorry, let me just.
All right. Yeah, maybe you can take your.
Maybe you should take another person. I have to deal. This guy will continue to call me until I.
All right, that's fine. Let's go to Oga Chike. So say Chike, ADC is coming together. They don't have a choice now, do they? And what do you make of it? Do you think that without Peter Obi being the flag bearer, they have any chance at all? Chike, you're muted though.
Hello?
Okay, got you. You can hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Now, without B2B in the group, they're not going to be successful. And I also like what his running mate, Mohammed. I don't know his name really quick.
Ahmed Dati.
Ahmed Dati. I like his stand. You know, that's one thing between him and Peter Obi. This man can speak up firmly and be firm what he wants to say and what he wants to do. And so without both, I think Peter Obi must stand his ground that he will be their representative and that he must be his running mate. You know, because for the fact that he's submitted that he wouldn't mind doing only one term. But let it be on the background that he will also be his running mate, because he's not going to gain anything being in the group of thieves, really arrogant people. You know, so if he's going to make that sacrifice, he better make it on the ground that, hey, I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything, but I have what it takes to get this country to where it is supposed to go. And if I'm going to do one term, if I'm agreeing to do one term, I would also want Dati to be my running mate. And because I know if Dati becomes his running mate, and if we were to shift to the north, Dati would then run also. So that would be Peter
Yeah,
B's
but
second term.
Chike, that
Yes.
is not like regarded as a heavyweight in the north, and you have Rufai, and I'm not sure Rufai is covered with corruption allegations.
Yes,
he
he
may
was.
not. Was he?
Yes.
I'm not sure he's been substantiated and been arrested by anybody for
Well, he hasn't
it.
been arrested because he was in the APC. And if you were on the
He's left
APC,
now.
then nobody's going to arrest you. But if you go from the time he was the Abuja minister, you know, when he confiscated all people's lands, and then he became a governor for 8 years. If you go through the Southern Kaduna people that he had helped to kill, I'm not going to say that word. He had helped to buy. That man is involved in so much corruption and physical violence.
Okay,
You know, so
let me ask you then.
yes.
What if they told you that if Dati runs, they lose? But if Rufai or some other heavyweight, I don't know which heavyweight is going to be, maybe somebody in the image of Kwankwaso. I don't know any other heavyweight in the north other than this in Rufai, really. If somebody like that doesn't run with Peter Obi, then he loses. Would you still say that it has to be dirty, knowing that they're going to lose?
They're not going to. I will not say that because I know they're not going to lose because Peter Obi alone. In fact, even that is said that that if Peter Obi stays in the Labour Party, assuming Labour Party is together. Last time he beat both APC and PDP combined. If the election was proper, so it really did. If it doesn't, for the fact that if it goes away from the ADC, they're not going to do much. They're not going to. Tinubu remains the president by crook or any means. So
okay, I will come back to you. Let me just try something else. Let me ask Mask at the same time, so that you all that are up there can exchange on this, because we have to try to examine where the merits are, because sometimes because we like Dati, we just say it has to go with Dati. So, but Maska, what do you think? Do you think they should go with somebody like Dati, even when he's not the heavyweight in the north? And do you know of any other heavyweight that may be suitable as a running mate for someone like Peter Obi?
Only Nigerians can talk like this. Only Nigerians can actually talk like this.
Oh God, what did he say that?
You guys have bypassed just so many things, and you are just wanting the result, the end. Life doesn't work like this. To a large extent, this is why this country is where it is. There are many layers to the problems. Okay, so let's rewind back a little bit. The coalition that we are talking about, obviously, they have to have a convention, and most likely, they have to have an election or whatever they will call it to decide who is going to be the flag bearer. But Nigerians have already assumed that it's going to be Peter Obi. Nigeria have already assumed that there won't be a major crisis because of that election where the coalition will collapse. We're even now discussing who should be the vice presidential candidate. I don't think this is the kind of discussions we should have at this point. Honestly speaking, if we think we're enlightened people are having this discussion, God help all the other people at the lower level of the society.
But
so what I'm telling you, forefathers, it will be a nice beer parlor intellectual discussion, okay? But if that is not what we are going to have, the truth also is that I will support Chike. What he is saying is after 4 years of Peter Obi, because his assumptions we are making now, we are just assuming everything away. We are assuming that he has been given the party. We are assuming that, okay, he will be asked to choose who will be his running mate. There won't be any negotiations. We are even assuming that they have won the election. That's what Chike is doing. He's saying that after 4 years, then Dati will now run as president.
Hello?
What he said.
That is what I find a bit problematic. Chike, hold on, you're still
it's fine.
yourself.
It makes a lot of sense, because if you look at Goodluck Jonathan, when he was vice president, even Yaradua himself then was not a big wig. This is the Nigerian party politics that we should understand. It's not about who you are a big wig, as far as it's about this thing now they are doing. No matter how big you are, if some of the things are not properly in place, nothing. Even
let me let me just go on to Tony. I will come back circle around on this thing. So Tony, the Maska is saying that we are just thinking ahead of ourselves, but isn't that the way APC formed when the Buhari lost 3 times? And the idea was that he was going to run because there was no other person that was going to get the ticket when Buhari is coming back to APC to form again. And you can argue that similar situation is occurring again, whereby ADC is coming together. If Peter Obi is looking to leave Labour or even...
Sorry, forefather, so that yes, I understand what you're saying, but just to correct you, even during the APC, it was clear that Tinubu will bring the vice president, whether it is himself or somebody else. There was an agreement, there was an understanding.
Yes. So the ticket was already agreed then. The main ticket was already agreed. So that is my point. ADC probably has already agreed inherently that
Forefather, I corrected you on this thing. APC ticket was
look at that.
never agreed until the primary. Don't make this statement.
AY, near you, you need to stop this. So we are going to enter what is it? This thing you keep doing to me every time.
Hold on.
Okay, what do you want to say?
It's just that Buhari had upper hand because of the support coming from Tinubu group, because of Amaechi G5 too. That was why. So the forces were kind of supporting Buhari. That was why Buhari was having upper hand. Of course, Atiku contested. Don't forget, Konkoso came second. He contested in that election. Konkoso was so very popular in APC. But it's because of the Tinubu factor, Amaechi, the G5 group that was led by Amaechi, that was the advantage of President Buhari.
Okay, this troublemaker. He always has to come and try to win the party, but it's all right. I'll get to you. Tony, please go ahead. You see, my thinking is, Peter
I think his network is having issues.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
okay,
but Forefather's network is having issues.
I think your network is having issues.
No, I think it's his volume. Volume is a little low. A little low, yes.
Let me see if I can raise it. Okay, I think, let me see if I can raise it a bit.
But I hear you,
better
though.
Now. Yeah, let me try to raise it. Okay, so it's like Peter Obi coming to ADC. He must have been given some reassurances that he's likely to get the ticket based on the heavyweights in that party. Because if he goes there, it will be a total waste of time, especially if Atiku is not running. And it will be a total waste of time. He's the only person that has got 6 million votes. And if he goes there and he knows he's not going to get the ticket, it's a total waste of time. He wouldn't bother going. So I'm thinking they have already given assurances that he's going to get the ticket, like they gave Buhari. So let's say he goes there now. Don't you think, does it make sense to go and take Dati as his running mate again, given that the Rufai is there, which I consider a heavyweight in the Nigerian politics, or some other person? Does it make sense to still go with Dati? That's the question.
Okay. Greetings, forefathers. Glad to be here. Greetings, everybody on the platform. First of all, like I did say in the previous discussion, I think we have to put things in proper perspective. What we are dealing with here is a coalition. It's entirely different from what we had with, Buhari. That was a merger, and you had a party. This one, you have various individuals from various parties trying not to merge. The parties are not merging, but the individuals are trying to adopt ADC.
My wife, please.
Excuse me. Let me finish, please. So they are trying to adopt ADC as a special purpose vehicle for the election come 2027. So it's slightly different. Now, if you listen to Dati, what he has said is that the coalition has approved everybody to stay within his party, apart from those who are going to take, like David Mark, who are going to take interim offices to resign. But every other person could stay pending primaries that will be conducted. So we're trying to put the cart before the horse. That's what I'm trying to say. So the situation is not clear yet. That's one. Two. The other thing I want to say is, we are all speculating. We are all postulating. We don't know what is going to happen. It's not clear that Obi is going to be the presidential candidate. We don't know. That's just speculation. And people are right to speculate. There's so many competing interests here. But let us go with the permutation, just as you have asked. If assuming Obi is becomes the president, is chosen after the primaries, whatever they do, becomes the presidential candidate and is to run for, 1 term, 4 years,
which I support, because the South must have their 8 years. It's only fair to do that. And if you are coming as a corrective party, a regime, then you must ensure that the South does not do more than 4 years, going by. So it will be Ashiwaju's term, God willing, if he completes his term, and then the next term should also go to the South. So it becomes 8 years, and then it can move to the North. So that way you can build confidence, and that for me would be justice. Now, who should Peter Obi take? Everybody is coming with something into the platform. Obi comes with a lot of political capital. They know that. Atiku is also there. You can't dismiss Atiku, whether you go by the votes that he garnered or was allotted to him in the last election, so Atiku is also a force. He has interest, otherwise he will not be there. Now, I don't know whether his interest translates to wanting to run as the president or wanting to guide, the party in a way that they can win, using his experience. We don't know. So we don't know the facts as yet. But let us say Obi is the presidential candidate. Now, I think it would be asking for too much to say that Obi should be the presidential candidate, that he should also be the vice president. I don't think, because this is a coalition. It's a give and take. You give this, you let go certain things. Otherwise, that will not be right. This is a coalition. So, and there are so many big whips there. There are so many people. If it's like you are going to a football match, you are not going to take your 4th 11 because the opponent that you are dealing with is formidable. They are not going to sit down and watch you and look at you do what you're doing. They're also planning and scheming. So this is tough. So I would expect that, because the problem that I see here is that, just like sports, everybody is a good coach. Everybody feels that he knows much better, but here the situation is not clear. We don't know where the goalpost is going to be. We don't know who the referee is going to be. We haven't seen the ball. We haven't seen the field. So they're just trying to build. I think the focus right now should be, let us build this party. Let us agree, on the way forward, and let us build the structure. And then we can go into primary stronger than start with something that can cause dissension and division, which the opponents are likely to exploit. But again, I go back to, permutation that you have made. Let us say Obi, there's Tambowa, because what you're looking at is who is likely to get you support. I mean, the VP, whoever becomes the VP, should be somebody also who has some influence, political influence, that can draw support. I would say in that case, if you follow this permutation, Atiku should get someone, because if you look at the two of them, Atiku 6.9, Obi 6.1, going by the last election, some of those support will still be there. So even if they thin down a little, but these are people we know that have some large following that they can bring into that party. So I think that Obi should not take everything. That's assuming that he becomes the presidential candidate. He must look for that he can be appeased. There are roles that he can play. Rufai can be anybody that they choose to be the vice president should be one that would also pull some votes, not just somebody who is just there and is not going to be influential politically. Let me stop there.
Thank you. I don't know why people seem to think that, let's say, if Atiku is not running, he's not going to back Peter Obi, because after all, Peter Obi was his running mate one, if I'm not mistaken. If that was the case, Peter Obi should have been a natural person he's going to ordain to go forward. So I don't know why people think that. But that said, the point you make is quite important about, you can't expect to have Peter Obi and Dati in an ADC coalition. I don't think that's a little bit too much to add. I think that point is very, very strong. Chike, but are you not going to accept Tambowa if they say it's Tambowa or Rufai? You're not going to accept him. Our obedience is not going to accept him, not just only you.
But I don't think Chike finished. I don't think Chike finished his term. You gave him all.
He's not finished. Yeah, I'm
He
asking
did
again
actually.
now.
I think he did. No?
Yeah,
He did.
Chike, so what do you think now? Is are the obedience not going to support Peter Obi if he had Rufai or Tamboa as a running mate?
I can't hear him.
I'm still speaking. Everybody can hear me, but you can't.
Can anybody hear him?
I can hear forefathers very well.
It's your audio. You may want to go out and come back in again. Your audio is a bit dodgy at the moment. Let's get.
Tony, can you hear forefathers?
So forefathers, somebody interrupted but let me just.
Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
My take on the coalition, and I think the perspective we should take in terms of looking at things, I think should be basically two. First, it should be a systematic look at things. Okay, and I'll start with that. In my own opinion, the problems in Nigeria, the political problems in Nigeria are layered. It's almost like an onion. If you do a deep dive, you will see that one of the major problems that we are dealing with is the fact that there's no proper political party ever in this country. What I mean by proper political party is that I listened to somebody who gave an example with UPN. During that time, if you are a governor, it doesn't matter which state. If you are under the UPN, even if you are in Borno State, if you are a governor and you win, you know that one of their major manifesto is free education. As a governor, you must have to do that. That's party supremacy. And I think one of the things that these ADC people are saying is that, look, we want to build that party. And I know a couple of people who said, oh, look, I'm tired of this party, I'm tired of that party. When you hear them speak now, they are saying that they are in ADC because they think that this ADC seems to have a semblance of a proper party. And for me, it will be a big advantage if all of us now that are talking, we should jump into that ADC. Try to seize the opportunity to make it into a proper party. Yes, you are looking like me with a sly eye of V, but I'm being very open, because there is no anybody that will come from Jupiter, Mars, or anywhere else to solve Nigeria's problem. And the most readily available way now is this democratic process. I'm not a believer in too much democracy. I mean, I tell people that, look, I know that there are a lot of hindrances to the system, but that is the most readily available vehicle now that we can take advantage. Yes, our politicians are bad, but I think if you put bad people in a good, proper working system, they will turn out well. Part of the major problem that we have in the country is these primaries. That's why I'm saying that we're assuming away too many things. It is the primaries. This is what has created the scenario where Tinubu is president today. Because during the PDP primaries, everything scattered. So okay. My take is that we as Nigerians, that is where we should start talking about. Forget about who will be the flag bearer for now. What will be the system first that the party will take to nominate who is going to be the flag bearer? That's one.
Okay.
Number two, let them build a process where the party will be supreme. Whoever becomes the leader, that party, because of the kind of people, the kind of I don't know what word to use, but let's make it a proper party. Let's begin to see how we can build the country. This is a good opportunity, not to jump into, because look, if it's Peter Obi or even Atiku, if things are done properly, things will be better. And even if it is Obi, and if things are not done properly, these things are not going to go anywhere. I rest my case for now here.
Thank you. So the age of Trump, alias Ovie. So this, okay, let me go back to the idea behind Peter Obi joining this. And is it an anathema that Atiku will support Peter Obi, given that Peter Obi has been his running mate previously? And also, or in the past, and also the fact that Peter Obi is looking towards ADC. Is it that he has been given assurances that he could get the nomination? Or is everything still up in the air? And if everything is up in the air, which candidate can possibly emerge from ADC that is not Peter Obi that can actually be assured of victory. Please go ahead.
Sorry, Ovie, I beg just tiny second before you go on. I just want to clarify. Pansad, you know, is my lifelong adversary. I see he's saying that there's a fine girl with me. I just want to put it on record. It's my wife, my wife of 32 years.
Exactly.
So with that, our first child is almost 29. So it's not a fine girl. I saw Shaw also joining a Pansad. So just to put it on record, it's my own wife of 32 years. So let it be there. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother Masker. You know, these are people that we should bring up people like this in Nigeria. If people like Masker is like this, Nigeria will be better, because he had no reason to go and do anything, because he doesn't have a baggages everywhere. He's trying to repair their life. He just have his family.
KJ, what do you mean? What about forefather?
Oh, don't start now. Don't start. Don't drag me to this one.
Now, Masker, me, I just thank him for
what I saw Masker. When I saw Masker in Nigeria, I questioned why we are all overseas. Even I really questioned it. That what is the point? He's surviving and doing very well in Nigeria, just fine. So is when people say Nigeria is on fire, then not for him. I can tell you that right now. All right. Age of Trump. So what do you make of the question? I hope you still remember the question.
Yes, I do. Mascot, that they make my face because you are calling on Nigeria to join ADC. So whenever you call to join APC or join Obidi or just, so that's why I'm laughing. Not that your suggestion is out of place, right? Just that I wasn't expecting it. So I think I mean, I don't talk this thing more than I think since the beginning of the year, I said Obi is the target, especially the northern angle. So the correlation that I'm seeing here is still because of Obi. Now, I'm saying that because, first of all, this is politics. In a way, it's still very early for us to say Obi is all in. I keep saying it. I don't believe Obi is foolish. I don't believe Obi is foolish to go with this arrangement, because it's not going to favor him. The only thing that will favor him is to just keep that same energy, momentum, keep on his own, just keep going the way he did towards 2023. I know it's a very tall hurdles now, because as soon as he decided to go that route, they will all turn against him and start making sure that he didn't. So that's what I'm seeing here. Is another angle of going after Obi, of course, even though Atiku hand is everywhere. I mean, who else to lead the coalition? Or if not him, the respect is still there, even though he's struggling to get 100% people from them. So at this early stage, I'm sticking to my guns. This is not to defeat Tinubu in any way, other than to just make sure Obi presidential ambition is tamped before he get out of control. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is politics. Now, this is collective thinking for me from the northern angle. But again, we should also understand that individually, they are running to put themselves in a better position to take advantage of the consensus that will come, because whether we like it or not, the North will come up with a consensus candidate, or whoever emerge as a favorite, they will all rally against them. That's the normal thing with that. So these individuals, from Konkoso to Atiku, that is at the back of their mind too. How do I position myself to be that favored guy? So this is what I'm reading at this early stage. So I'm not believing that Obi is going to go in, because even as you said, I think Kulata was hammering on it earlier on. Anybody that believes that Atiku is still not going to be here for 2 election cycles, maybe he or she is deceiving himself. So it's still very early for me to say that Obi is all in, or it's not going to get the on. So earlier said, I believe it's not foolish. He's the guy to stop.
Yeah, but
on the other side,
is it not foolhardy for Atiku to run, given that if he goes in now, he will short circuit the turn of the south and then back to another northern Fulani, that could result in a kind of unbalancing of the system. This is one of the reasons why Peter Obi is even alluding that he's going to run for one term. because they want to try to maintain that rotation. Don't you think if they are coalescing, they should be coalescing around somebody that intends to do one term? Or do you think Atiku wants to do one term?
Well, from my own,
I don't think it's even going to work.
From my own angle, Tinubu is not losing the election, so I'm not even permutating towards Atiku winning or Obi winning. 2027 is gone. Tinubu, as I earlier said it, Tinubu hasn't done anything wrong for them to deny second time. To the power that be, not the Nigerian people. We don't count. We are not there yet. But those who do their interest counts, the man hasn't done anything wrong from both home and abroad. So I don't see why they would deny him second term.
Can I just interject, if you don't mind?
Yeah, please go ahead.
If you look at, again, we are going by statistics. If you look at the percentage of votes, we're going by the last presidential election. In the South, Obi beat every other presidential contestant. Totally, he had 44.5% of the votes cast for the presidency. Tinubu had 35.5%. So if you are looking for someone who is likely to give you a big vote from the South totally, you can't overlook Obi. And I think Tinubu is seeing that challenge. And you see him trying to build up support, maybe through hook and crook in the South. But I know that some of those who are pretending to be moving to APC, I can tell you from my own state, I know that we know what their problems are, and we are not going to vote for them. That I can tell you for sure. So in Ebonyi State, for instance, you see the governor warning the chiefs, that if they vote if they go LP, if they don't vote for APC, let's put it that way, they is going to take off the title from them. And in Lagos State recently, we see one of the Obas who also derobed some Obas, some chiefs, because they were seen to be attending LP meetings. If you listen to the language of the Lagos State governor, when he was speaking on the forthcoming local government election, he was begging Lagosians to please, they should not disgrace them. For a governor to say that, it means that maybe there's something that is seen. Now, Tinubu is very strong, or was very strong in the north, if you go by the election, the presidential election again. I think he got 62% of the north voted for him. Now, the scenario is not the same now. It's quite changed on both sides, whether it's Obi and Tinubu. So if you get a combination of Obi's capital plus that of Atiku, then that will stand as a counterpoint to whatever Tinubu, the incumbent, is going to bring, So even with the power of incumbency, and if we go by the kind of things that we are seeing going on, how power is being used, intimidation and INEC and all that, I think that if this coalition, if they can mobilize substantial votes from the north, and then you can get, Obi can bring his own and all the other persons, from the south, Arebeshola and Co, they can bring Rufai and all that, they can bring, whatever votes that they can garner. Then I think the ruling party is in serious trouble. So, and I see the evidence because they are panicking. If you look at the pronouncements of all of them, whether it's Wike or whether it's the president's spokesperson, so on and so forth, you can see that this is one formidable threat and they are not taking it for granted. So we are not sure what is going to happen. We are not sure if the coalition is going to go on without being dissipated. We don't know. But if they are able to put their hearts together and look more, first of all, in terms of building the coalition, and put aside first their individual and personal aspirations or interests and work for building the party together, and then ensure that the primaries is free and fair, that would put them in a stronger footing to be able to challenge, incumbency. I think those are the issues. That's what I'm looking at. But to say that it's a straight win for.
Yeah, Tony, only you spoke for like.
Yeah, Tony, don't be going too long. Don't be going too long. I think it helps.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the protester there.
You didn't get to your
always
turn.
protesting.
You spoke before everybody. You didn't get to your turn and you're speaking.
Okay, I think it's only fair.
You didn't get to your turn and you're speaking.
Leave it first.
You didn't get to your turn before you spoke. Nobody challenged you now.
You are speaking for 5 minutes.
The fact that you waste.
Yeah, let's try to keep it brief. Let's try to keep it brief. I think let's be reasonable with each other, because I will try to shuffle it as quickly as I can so that everybody just has to say quickly on this, so that we'll move on to another topic. But this thing that we keep doing, that okay, they have to form a party. Of course, they are going to form a party. The question is, what are they going to do with the formation? Because the age of Trump now is now saying that Tinubu is going to win because he didn't do anything wrong. I'm not necessarily sure about that. The powers that be don't have a horse in the fight. As long as Nigeria selects somebody and the person that they are selected is not an outright communist, they are fine. As long as the person is going to do their bidding, they are fine. So the question is, how is it that you are going to have? What kind of configuration do you want to see? Because one of the areas I'm a little bit curious about is Kwakwaso. Is he in the play in ADC, or is he just going back to APC? If he's in ADC, because if he's in any way engaged in ADC and becomes a running mate of someone like Peter Obi, I'm telling you, Tinubu is in big trouble. That too, because that guy will get Kanu, and he will still get other northern states. With Rufai, Tinubu is in big trouble. So what do you make of that?
Kwankwaso is focused.
Is Kwankwaso in play?
He's focused on 2031. I said it even in 2023. That is the target. It's not about 2027. Of course.
Yeah, but that's the point now. If he runs as a running mate now, he can do it 2031.
Nah. So look at it. The northern.
Why not?
Why I say you have to look at the fact that the north, they are stars in the north, right? All the 19 governors has equal chance. So there's a lot of competition in the north. So if you have to look beyond 2027, the probability that if you join will be there is not there. But the people don't seem to understand when I said Tinubu hasn't done anything wrong. I am not talking about the suffering of the people. No, that's a given. The people are not in position to threaten anybody or to bring anybody and succeed. We are not in that position, unfortunately. Not that it's impossible, we are not there as I speak today.
No, but I want to understand, is Kwankwaso in play, or he's just going to sit
he is in the play. Kwankwaso game is going to join APC. It's already happening. The chairman,
then
hold on. The chairman resigned. Why did the chairman resign? If Kwankwaso joined APC, his goal is that as soon as Tinubu started the second time, he will be in a better position to take over the structure of the party and work to getting the ticket of the party. Is that a given? No. But that's where his aim is. Because I expect them to give him the chairmanship of the party. Right? There's a reason why
they have not said so far.
That's why I said I expect them. I'm not saying that's what is happening, because the reason why Ganguje had to resign, because he has no marketing value, he has no electoral value, he has no political capital. It's not electable. His image is damaged. So how will you expect him to be above a man who has a sitting governor, has a sitting emir, has 1 million votes to his credit according to INEC? It's not possible. So already he's coming with a leverage. So he's looking at his leverage. Where is he going to favor him the most? Going to 2031, if you are saying he should John Obi presidency, that means the assurance that he's going to win. But even if he wins, the possibility that they will return to the vice president is not there. It has never happened so far. Other than good luck, who me and you know now, divine intervention, that won't happen. So his focus is different from the way he moved. If you look at 2023, when they appear in Kaduna, the house in Kaduna, everybody, he decided to stay apart. He has his own radical.
But let me ask you though. Let me ask you this last question before I bring the others up. If say peradventure he runs with Peter Obi, they win and he becomes the Peter Obi does his first time and wants to go. Now Kwangwaso has had 4 years as vice president. He has had governorship positions. He's cemented his support in the Kano. Which other northern candidate, because that would be the turn of the north, which other northern candidate can possibly surmount him at that time? Which other northern candidate? Which one?
If we are not talking about Shetima in the question of things, what does that tell you about vice presidency?
Shetima is spare tire. Shetima no
so if you remember in 2023, Kwankwaso said it and he went viral with Hausa that vice presidency in a spare tire was going after Atiku, right? It's not necessary that he's actually.
Yeah, but Kwankwaso is a beast. But Kwankwaso it seems like he's ahead of Shetima, if you ask me.
No.
You struggle with that one. You struggle with that one.
It's a vice president.
Now,
at best was a governor. So you can't.
Yeah, but by that time he would have been a vice president too, and a governor, and done so many things, and one of the biggest, I think, one of the biggest states in Nigeria even.
Listen, to Nigeria, Tinubu 2 years to his re-election is saying that he no want his vice president again, and head nobody cry for. When I mean nobody cry for North, the big wigs in the North just they no send. What does that tell you? See, as I said it before, now consensus candidate. Forget all this. Is no, I think you have to.
So what are you saying that Tinubu is about to make Kwankwaso his running mate, or what are we talking about here?
I see him making him the chairman of the party than running mate. I don't see him being a running mate to.
Why not?
I don't see him accepting that.
I'll tell you why, forefathers. Most people, if you look at Nigerian politics, most presidential candidates, they don't want very vocal and strong.
It's too ambitious for that position, yes.
Okay, thank you for that.
But guess what? Nobody will say I will do one time and you expect the North to believe it. You need to go and study what happened to Goodluck. That was actually an agreement. One can if you argue there's a written agreement. You understand? It is not up to you as a city president. It is up to Tinubu that he will run, he no go run again. He no fit say no run again. He can't. It's not up to him anymore. People who are benefiting from this government, they go carry gun, enter streets. So once Obi win, you think you will do one time? It's not possible. So they know this thing. Forget these people. They understand themselves. It's not possible. Nobody will give you that chance. You have to come and take it from me. If I win, I no go give them to you. I don't care what the agreement is. you can only go. That's what happened to Jonathan. If you don't, Tony Anene, his time is ground.
I think Goodluck made a mistake. Goodluck made a mistake. That's one of the reasons why we have to start learning how. I like what Rufai did when they said that they have to back a southern leader, and that's one of the reasons he said they have to back a southern leader because it's a town of a southern leader. He didn't just say, "Oh, because Atiku is there, let me back Atiku because you're northerner." Sometimes some people have to learn to honor their words. If Peter says 4 years, he should do 4 years. If anybody says 4 years, they should do it instead of just trying to backstab the other side. It's not going to get us anywhere.
Don't start today. Start from Abore Accord.
Okay. Let me bring some people on. In the meantime, Ovi, just hold on and let me bring Dexter on. So, KJ. It's time for the obedience to decide whether they are going to hold their nose and because this is not Ubi Dati anymore. This is could be Ubi Rufai, Ubi which one Ganduje? No Ganduje. Which other name Tamboa?
Forefather.
It could be
Forefather.
Yeah, it could be Tamboa.
Slowly,
hey,
Forefather.
let me bring you in. Let me bring you on.
Hold on. Really, what's your problem?
No, sorry, I forgot you.
You need to be careful, man. Go
why
ahead
take
and
it easy
moderate.
now?
You're becoming annoying, man.
Why take it easy? I didn't
you
see
allow
you.
Ovie, hold on. You also allow Ovie to go on for second time.
For
Like
almost
same
1
thing you
hour,
did with
we have
Tony.
been here sitting and watching.
KJ is here. I'm here.
What kind of wahala be this one?
Dexter was here. Bode
The
is
entire
here.
stream
Man
is
of
1
is here.
hour. I was playing
Show
video
has
for
been
about
here.
10,
Show
15
has been
minutes.
here. Eh?
That's to tell you, say one time now scam. One time now scam.
You see, Ovie did 2 times. Tony do people 3 self.
See, I was just rotating the question.
1 hour. Listen,
take
check
it
your
easy,
time.
AY.
Complete 1 hour. Only
AY
2
keep
people
trolling me
speaking.
these days. What kind of wahala is this?
You need
Take
help,
it easy.
Khalid.
Okay.
Wow.
ADC. Tambowa, is he not okay as a running mate? And why do you think that Atiku is not going to support Peter Obi? Because after all, he had Peter Obi as a running mate once. Why? Why not? Because you seem to believe that he's not going to support Peter Obi.
For now?
AY. Yeah, I'll go to KJ after
finally.
that because KJ, I was asking him about whether they are going to hold their nose, but it's okay. AY.
So first of all, I think the coalition, they score a single point right now. But I heard somebody was saying Peter Obi need to pick Yusuf Dati as vice, blah, 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 blah. Listen, politics does not work like that. Politics is about negotiation. You have to negotiate power. People don't understand it, you know. There are a lot of people, see, a lot of things are going to play out, but where I stand basically is let South complete their 8 years. This is not negotiable. Let's start from there. Let the South complete their 8 years. Then after that, if Atiku want to contest, Atiku can go ahead and contest. Atiku can go ahead and contest for another 4 years or 8 years, whatever he want to do. It's going to be very interesting, but they need to know the ADC. I pray they don't scatter. I pray because if anything make them split, that's the end of the election. This is the fact. A lot of things will play out. A lot of politics will play out. I heard you asking Ovie that if Kokoso, if he will be coming to ADC. I can tell you for a fact, Kokoso is not coming to ADC. It's never going to be part of it. Kokoso is moving to APC. It's going to be there. But however, if they can form a ADC, if they can form a formidable opposition, they are gonna be able to give trouble to Tinubu. But the other thing I wanted to point out is Tinubu is not Goodluck Jonathan. Tinubu is the first known politician that assumed the office of the president of Nigeria. If you know, you know. If you don't know, forget it. Tinubu is not Goodluck Jonathan. Tinubu is not going to be sleeping for you to come out take power over. Tinubu know how to negotiate power. If you follow up APC negotiation during Buhari, Tinubu was supposed to be vice president, but they told him, no, you can't, because the Saraki was interested in the Senate president. They gave the office of the VP open for Tinubu, give us 3 candidates. I'm seeing the same thing needs to happen with ADC. If, for example,
he said he knows how to negotiate power. How did he manage to negotiate himself out of it when he wanted to become VP? I thought he wanted to become VP. How did he manage to negotiate himself out of it?
Okay. If you know how to negotiate power, you don't win everything. So that is where the issue is. You don't win everything. So
what makes you think that he wants to win this one? He could negotiate himself out of this one again.
No. Look at it, right? So the election of 2027, a lot is going to play out. 2031 is going to be playing out already. So the alliance you are seeing now in 2027, 2031 is a factor. So that is why somebody like Konkoso have more to lose if he moves to ADC. If he moves to APC, he has a lot to win. For example, his godson is going to return as the governor of Kano, because right now almost all the senators from Kano, almost all the senators from Kano, they are in APC already. So Konkoso only need to move to APC to retake Kano. Then I don't think he will be APC chairman. I think he can be minister. He can have.
But why? So hold on. Why do you say it's a disadvantage to him to join ADC? Let's say as a potential running mate. Why is that a disadvantage to him?
So ADC is still a mushroom party, right? ADC is still a mushroom party. So politicians, they think. So first of all, even in 2023, I was telling people like, Konkoso is a natural Tinubu ally. That's what people don't know. Even in 2023, that play out. So it was
he not PDP that he left?
He has left all the party. He left APC, left PDP.
Your first argument was that ADC is a kind of mushrooming party, or just starting off. But the same thing was APC once, in the same circumstances. And now I will ask you one further question. What will happen if Kwankwaso, what is more likely to happen if Kwankwaso was the running mate of Peter Obi? Do they not stand a greater chance of winning than if he goes with this in Tinubu in the end? Are they not likely to win if he was the running mate of Peter Obi?
So yes, it's true, but you see, there is what you call ally politics. Konkoso is Tinubu ally. So it's not that they really be in the same party apart from APC. Don't forget, Konkoso and Tinubu, they were governor in the same time, right? So they have strong. Tinubu have strong network across the country. You saw when Tinubu became president. You saw even somebody like that former Delta State Governor James Ibori, even his chief of secretary to the government, right? So they were all.
Oh, you have been muted. You see all this trolling, only for you to come on now. You become father of all nations. You go and do your father of all nations. Trolling, you be trolling me all day.
No, it's because of this thing. Hold on. Even the secretary to the government, to the federal government, they were all friends. That's the alliance you see that's still going on. Defeating Tinubu, I think if you can even make an attempt to remove Tinubu, a lot of things will play out. So first of all, Atiku must sacrifice his presidential ambition in 2027. But I don't see that happening. I can tell you for a fact, Atiku is going to compete. I can tell you that for a fact.
But maybe he's not going to compete hard. He's going to compete to lose.
He's
maybe just to show.
Hard because the problem where I'm seeing if Peter Obi can negotiate consensus, that will be better for him. But if that is not happening, I don't think Peter Obi can compete with them at the primaries, because primary election are actually different from national election. So this is a fact. That is where it's a bit tricky. So
attend to the young man, attend to the little baby. When you're here talking about Kwankwaso, go and attend to your little one. All this complete. Go and attend to the little one. Attend to the little one. Stop trying to talk about this thing. KJ, please, thank you for joining us. You see, he spent all this while trolling me, asking for his turn and everything, and suddenly now he's father of all nations. Let's carry on, Jerry. Let's carry on. So, what are the obedience going to hold their nose if they chose Tambowa, Rufai? Who knows? Maybe another candidate that people don't like. Are they going to hold their nose and still vote obedient, P2B?
Okay.
From ADC.
First of all, I want to put a caveat here. I'm not an obedient. I'm just a political observer. I have no dog in the fight. because long ago I've lost confidence in the Nigerian political system. A system does not allow the people to decide who they want as their leader.
No, please, let's be honest with each other. You are an obedient.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows on this channel that I have never.
It's not an obedient. It's shockingly not an obedient, actually.
AY knows that at least. If anybody doesn't remember, AY can remember that I always said here that I'm not an obedient.
KJ would definitely be for the Igbo candidate. What are we talking about? Let's be honest with each other.
You know, KJ cannot. It can never be straightforward. That
you see, most of you, some of you sometimes see. Sure is my friend. Sure is an obedient. So if I wanted to support, he's here on this channel, and I would have said I'm an obedient. I'm not. I say the things the way they are. Let me tell you something. I was one, first of all, in the first earlier program who said that if I was Peter Obi, I will put forward that one of my demand would be that my running mate will come with me in this journey. Why do I say that? Because it is easy to sell a Dati Ahmed to the south than to sell an Rufai to the south. You see, the love for the Igbos right now that Rufai is trying to, when did it start? Okay? I lived in Abuja when Rufai was there, and I know what he did to the business of Igbo people there, starting from Wuse Market. I know. I have people who had shops there, so let's not even go into that. But what I'm simply saying is that, why am I emphasizing on Dati Ahmed? I knew, I started watching Dati Ahmed's interview following his development since when he was in the National Assembly. And he's a fair guy. I mean, at that younger age, he was a bit arrogant for me. But all that has gone, with age. So now he can let me tell you something. I like somebody who will sit before me and say, KJ, the business we did is 100 naira, but I want to take 70 and give you 30. I will have no problem whatsoever with that. I will tell you, okay, if that's what you want to do and it's good for you, fine. But don't tell me, KJ, we did a business of 70 naira and let us share it equal, 35, and you want me to believe when I know the obvious. So in other words, let's be straight with each other. And I think I find him to be a bit more straight, and he will tell you exactly where he stands on all matters, not shifting goalposts. That's one. Two, he is very knowledgeable. I mean, knowledgeable for a politician of our time, because we know that politicians of our time are not even, there are people like Tinubu, we don't even know where they get primary school certificate. Okay, but for these people, if we have for once in our lifetime educated people leading the pack, they may have a better way of approaching things. Because
are you talking about Rufai? Are you talking about Rufai?
No, I'm talking about Obi. Dati Ahmed and Obi.
Yeah, but why would you expect ADC to choose Dati and Obi at the same time?
Because it's supposed to be for the interest of Nigeria. No, be so. They are forming the coalition.
But you can't just choose two people from one party, though.
Hold on. They are forming a coalition to save Nigeria from sinking. Nigerians are dying. Things are not working well. So now we are coming with our best foot forward. I'm saying that one of those best foot forward is these two individuals who look at this young man. I mean, he's a northerner. He has all the political cloud around him. You could have also decided to, flip his wings, and he's been very modest even in talking about these things. Very modest. Okay, not like Wike.
So basically, you are saying that the ADC is about other parties coalescing around Labour or obedience?
No, not even Labour, because now we're not talking about Labour. We don't even know where Labour belongs. We're talking about the obedience. That what we're taking away from Labour is the obedient group that we know will have a bulk of 6 million votes in their kitty. Labour has only been a party since for more than 20 years. What have they ever been able to achieve? But you see, the biggest challenge in our political system is that even those who are in Labour, who jumped into the bandwagon, apart from Alex Oti and few others in the House, where are the rest of them? Where are the rest of them?
Forefather, can I interject a minute? I need to say something.
When I finish, you can
I need to ask you something.
No, let me finish.
It looks like man of the you want to start problem.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Now, this is where I'm going. I was looking for the video. I wanted to send a video where we have similar arrangement in the past. The last one was the one I'm looking for the video, which is Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo, the guy from GMPP, they were addressing the crowd, and they were waiting for Aminu Kanu, and they were hoping that Aminu Kanu would join that group. And Aminu Kanu didn't agree to join that group. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Many years down the road, we have come to the same place again because we're not learning. That's the truth. Okay? Now, what was the reason for Aminu Kanu not accept? Because he didn't think they were sincere. So he didn't want to bring the Takawas to hit that point. Okay, now we are back in that same place again. The truth is that these leaders who are coming together, are they sincere that it's Nigeria they want to save? Of course, we know. One of Atiku's longest ambition is to be president. And he has the resources. At least because, see, it would have been much easier. And let me tell you something, and I'll end with this. The Nigerian political system know that if they say people should be the ones to come and vote, just like they do in the American system, if you say you're coming out, your people will be the ones to vote to either decide, your money determine how far you can go. And then the people will determine how far you can go also. They keep casting until you are out. Now, the question is, if they don't want to give that to you, to Nigerians, because they know that if they do that, majority of them will not be there. So they make it a secret ballot. They make it a zonal. They make it, they choose people who they can simply buy off in the hotel. And then, of course, at the end of the day, the same people are recycled back. If you think Atiku is going to give up in this race, I think the person should think again, because he knows that after this point, it may be difficult. But let me finally say this. But you see, I take away something from Rotimi Amaechi. He said, if you want to take these guys out, you must be ready to do worse than they can do. That's the truth. I've said this here before. You cannot be an Obi and take this thing. No, you have to fold your sleeve. You have to fold your trouser, wear your canvas, get ready in the gutter, and wrestle it out with the pig. That's the only way you can get it. Not nothing. I say the same
Thank
thing.
you.
Not thank you.
I think ADC has bruisers there. I think Rufai is known as a serious bruiser. He can get down and dirty. But that said, though, Show, because I would like Show to kind of give us an overview, because I think he's very good at being able to understand these things. Based on everything you've heard and the direction ADC is going, do you see them being able to coalesce around a candidate and a vice president that the country is going to accept? Or are they not passionate enough about getting rid of the current government from office? What do you make of it?
All right, thank you. Good evening to you and to everyone else on the panel and the chat gang. I'll probably just start by saying most of the things we're saying, at least for me, it's all conjecture. We're not in the know, so don't let's take it to heart when people give opinions and people just get flared up and all of that. Everyone is just thinking, they're saying what they think might happen. We don't know for sure. The people that would know are the people that have been meeting for a while. And these are the people you saw at the hall in Abuja meeting. So with the ADC, it's a difficult one to predict. But my way of looking at it is, it would have been better if the day they met a few days ago and they said this would be our consensus candidate. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, you hold your card close to your chest." Sorry, the APC are not stupid. They know it's between Obi and Atiku. So what is it that you're hiding? No, they would attack them if you, they know it's Atiku or Obi, so there's nothing to attack. They've been attacking them and they'll continue to attack them. So hiding it does no one favors. It leaves room for all this sort of, argument and bickering, even amongst the people that want to support the ADC. So if they had said this is the consensus candidate, which the APC did not have, they did the primaries, Buhari won, Atiku came second, I think. Kwakwanso came third in 2014 when they did this, but this is a different situation.
So Kwakwanso came second.
Oh, second, okay, and Atiku came third. Okay, I beg your pardon. So I think it would have been better if they did that. So in terms of Obi's choices, if they had announced Obi, for example, as their consensus candidate, someone like Aburi wouldn't have had any reason to come out and say we're giving you 2 days, 48 hours to resign. Abure is saying that because he knows or he's guessing that Obi might not get the ticket because nobody knows, like I said, who's going to get the ticket of the ADC. So he's thinking, oh, if we put pressure on Obi to say, resign now, that might make him say, don't let me join this ADC. Let me stick to the LP that at least I know I have. So that sort of pressure wouldn't have come if you had told us Obi is the candidate of the ADC. Abure can go to, Hades. Nobody cares. Imagine a world where they say there's going to be primaries in ADC. I'm an obedient. Peter Obi can kiss that ticket goodbye. Primaries in Nigeria. This ADC, if people don't remember, their last primaries in 2023, 2022, do you know what happened? They had a candidate who left YPP. The presidential candidate of YPP in 2019 was Kingsley Moghalu. In 2019, he left YPP and he went to ADC in 2022, 23. Everybody thought he was a banker, nailed on. Out of nowhere, Dumebi Kachuku defeated him in the primaries. And Kingsley Moghalu said it was cash and carry primaries, ADC. This Dumebi has been everywhere now. Channels, Arise, talking, tough, these people should get away from my party. So if they say there's going to be a primaries, Peter Obi can kiss it goodbye. Because Atiku would have every right to run for primaries, and he will run it the way he knows how to run it. And that is the exact opposite of how Peter Obi thinks it should be run. Maybe you know that slogan, we know they give shishi. So he's not going to give shishi. But Atiku would give it everything because think about it, this is Atiku's last chance. He's 78 years old. By the time Tinubu finishes, he's 80. If he doesn't win or run in 2027, by the time Tinubu finishes second term or Peter Obi finishes his first term, Atiku is 84.
So Atiku doesn't think about rotation this thing. He just wants to run.
Some of the Atiku people, let me tell you, so I follow some of these things. I have a bit of time. Some of Atiku's boys, the ones that are left with him, because a lot of people have deserted him, some of the ones that have remained with him, what they are touting and floating online is that, forget this your rotation. It is not written anywhere. It's an unwritten gentleman's agreement. They are saying that if you want to be fair to the Northerners, by the time Tinubu will have finished, forefathers, you do the math for us. So Tinubu will have done 4 years. Obasanjo did 8. That's how many?
4, 8, 12.
Plus 8. 12. Jonathan did 6.
Yeah, that's 18.
Yaradua did 2. Buhari did 8.
Okay. 16, 8, 10.
So they're already saying, you people have done, by the time Tinubu is done, you've done 18. Or 16, sorry, or whatever. We've done 10.
No, it's 18.
So 18. So there's a deficit already. This is what some of the Atiku boys are already saying. That don't come to us with this your rotation. Yet if rotation is about fairness, so let's talk about fairness. The South has done more than us. You owe us. That's what they're saying already. So I don't personally think Atiku will roll over for Peter Obi. I think if that was going to be the case, they will have said it. The fact that they've not said it means it's still being discussed. It doesn't mean it can't happen. But the fact that they didn't say it.
But Atiku said it earlier on. Did I not see a headline where Atiku said he could do away with his personal ambition?
Atiku was speaking to the Northerners today in Hausa. Or I don't know what language he speaks, maybe Fufu. They were speaking in his local language. He said, if I win the election, not the primaries, and anybody tries to rig, he said, we'll fight it this time. He was speaking today to some key stakeholders. He said, if I win the next election and anybody tries to rig, we will fight this time. That is not the man who is looking to dash you. It's his last opportunity. If he doesn't run, he's 84. By the 2031, when he goes back to the north.
If you are correct, we do have some.
I'm not conjecture.
Yeah, that's why I put it. If you are correct, then
yes.
Man, we have some sorry state of elite class in this country. I don't take the national interest into account at all.
But I won't jump in now. Maybe when it's my turn, I'll come back to this. There are a couple of things, but I'll wait for my turn.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I don't know. I'm just saying what I think, and I'm open to counter conversations or argument. So, Peter Obi now, if he doesn't get a ticket, what does he do? Labour Party, another party. If he goes back to Labour Party, 3 things have changed since the last election, or 4 things, but 3 have changed significantly. It's no longer the Labour Party he had in 2023. It's a fractured Labour Party now, infiltrated. It's not the same Labour Party. That would affect him adversely. Second thing that would affect him is it's no longer an unknown quantity. They were saying 4 people tweeting in a room. You've not had that anymore. So they now know what Peter Obi can do. So that idea of taking him with levity is gone. Another thing that has changed since then, or that hasn't changed now, is we know that let's even assume in our wildest dreams, I don't think it would happen if he goes alone. Let's even say he wins at the ballot boxes, at the polls. Would he win in court? Has anything changed at in our judiciary? I don't think so. And fourth is dealing with Tinubu, not with Jonathan. Jonathan said the election ambition is not worth the drop of red oil of a Nigerian. Tinubu won't say it's worth it, but won't say it's not worth it. He will keep quiet on that. So he's dealing with a totally different human being. So I think my message to obedience, because I'm an obedient, is I haven't said all of this. People might think, is this guy drifting? Why is he saying all these things? I'm real in most cases. I try to be as real as I can. But the message I'm giving to myself and obedience is, don't let anybody guilt trip you. Don't let the APC banger boys, the data boys, don't let them come and guilt trip you. They would ask you a lot of questions. Oh, so El Rufai is all of a sudden a saint. Has anyone called El Rufai a saint? No. To answer your question, yes, I will close my nose and vote for Peter Obi alongside whoever. Am I happy about it? No. Do I have reservation about these guys? Of course I do. But how else do we get Peter Obi to Aso Rock? I asked him a question on this channel when he came. I said, Mr. Obi, are there Nigerian politicians you will not work with, even if he guarantees you Aso Rock seat? I knew what I was doing when I asked him that question, because I knew days like this would come. So they would try and guilt trip you and say, oh, so you're happy to support this, Malami, and this and this. Let them list all the names. These guys that they are condemning, who are still condemned, they were good enough for these APC boys 2 years ago. If they were good enough for you then, they are good enough for me today. If they now ask you, how are you different from the people you condemned 2 years ago? I don't have to answer you. Your opinion of me, I don't have to contribute to your opinion of me. You make up your mind on me. That's your business, and that's why it doesn't count. Okay. I've made up my mind on you, APC boys. I didn't consult you to make up my mind. So you don't ask me, oh, so how are you different? I'm not going to answer you. I don't owe you that explanation. So don't let anybody guilt trip you into this. Oh, so now you're entering a room with El Rufai. Yes, I am. So what's your next question? What are you going to do about it? They were good enough for you. These people were defending this man that they just sacked as the national party. This man was collecting bribe, putting in his pocket. It was good enough for them. If they didn't sack him and they presented him as presidential candidate, APC boys would defend him. They would tell you the reason why he's a good administrator and better than Peter Obi. So these same people now want to ask me, why do I want to do anything with El Rufai? In the ideal world, I wouldn't. But if my house is being burgled by armed robbers and the Agbero boys on my street want to help me, I won't stop them. It doesn't mean I trust the Agbero boys tomorrow.
Let me ask you a yes or no question.
That's tricky. But go on.
What is the most likelihood that ADC is going to fall apart, or is
it's
likely
very high
to come together?
The chance is very high that it would fall apart.
Okay,
very high.
Then
internal forces and external forces.
If that is true, and then we should start working for Tinubu now.
Let me even shock you.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
So let me say this that I might be banished from the obedient group. Finally, don't be surprised if Peter Obi doesn't run in 2027. The wildest take, he might not run in 2027.
Yeah, that is interesting.
He might go back to his quote and said, "I've always maintained I am not desperate to be Nigeria's president. I just want to see Nigeria work. For that reason, I'm out." It wouldn't surprise me. It might surprise a lot.
I also agree with that.
Don't let it shock you if that happens. Yeah. It's a wild take, but it might happen.
and then we leave the arena for some mad people. And I think if he does that, that could lead to some kind of serious soul searching among Nigerians, because now we've had somebody with this level of civility pull himself out of the system and left with Agberos to elect. That could lead to some serious soul searching. Who knows what it could lead to? Who knows?
When was the last time you heard from Kingsley Moghalu? Sorry, one last thing. On a smaller scale, in terms of comparison, when this Dumebi Kachiku did what he did in ADC primaries in 2022, Kingsley Moghalu wrote a letter to Nigerians. He said, I am gone. I'm not doing politics anymore. He was shocked. Like, where did this come from? Paying people for ADC primaries. Like, what? You know, so it can happen.
It book
Like I said,
hotel for
it will
them,
take.
all of them.
And
Like, show really follow politics this time.
they say they call me hypocrite. They've been calling me I'm a hypocrite. I embrace it. So if you call me hypocrite this week, so next week you have to think of something worse. I'm a hypocrite. I embrace it. I adopt it. I'm happy. You do you. Let me do me. Like that.
The thing about Moghalu doesn't have the visibility of Peter Obi, where a third of votes were cast for him. And I feel that if Peter Obi decides to pull out because the entire arena becomes too agbroized, as they say, and all these political just hungry people that just want to get into office for the sake of it, not actually to do anything. You could have a situation whereby Nigerians will start having a buyer's remorse. And then, you know how when they selected Atiku in PDP and they selected Tinubu in APC, there was a swell of support for Peter Obi. You know, and when Peter Obi pulls out based on, and when Nigerians look at it and say it's based on this mess that they see on the scene, God knows where that vote is going to go. And because there is that thing is there. Don't pretend as if they're going to go away. They're not going to go away. And that could be a serious problem in the Nigerian space. Who knows? Maybe a new candidate might emerge from nowhere that will blow all these people out of the water. Who knows? Politics is a very strange thing. Nobody saw Peter Obi coming the last time. And who knows what could happen in 2 years' time. So, Dexter, thank you for joining us. And Uzo, and thank you for your submission. Sure, I really appreciated it because you do have insight in all these things. Because I can see now that those Northerners will be arguing for 18 years of another Northerner to catch up with the Southerners.
I don't understand what you are saying, Fofa. What do you mean by these Northerners? You stop talking.
Oh,
like
you?
That.
Hey! You know what I mean? Hey, come on! You got
what is all that? That slap on the face of people.
Okay, let me hold on. See, my apologies for putting it like that, but I'm saying based on the context that show was reporting the information, he was saying Atiku people, to be fair, he didn't say Northerners. So it's on me on that one. So my apologies. I wasn't saying it in a pejorative manner, but it's a fair point. If they're arguing for 18 years, it's a fair point.
People. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, let me get somebody back up here. Let's see.
I've been here for a very long time.
Oh, look at that. He came last too. Yeah,
no, you left me. You left me on the backstage.
Yeah, because he came last. That's why you were on the backstage.
Okay.
Dexter, thank you for joining us today. This ADC talk, I think maybe I just want to rest it because this one that the show has told us that there's no hope. It's likely to fall apart. Should we just start working for Tinubu now and hope for the best?
Thank you, forefathers. I kind of I think if I start with what Shu said, I think he kind of gave like an anticlimax of the whole situation. On one side, he's saying it to fall apart. On the other side, he's saying, "Oh, support, irrespective, and all that." First of all, I said in the first stream, just imagine this is a football match, or if you're a chess player, it's not like the game of. It's not a football match. In the first 20 minutes, you are trying to already say who is going to win the match. I think you are doing a big disservice to yourself. And for people who are supporters of Peter Obi, I think, look, they should become a little bit more politically savvy about this thing. It's not it's not like poker, like the way we want to see it. It's not the way we want to see it. First of all, somebody says, "Oh, they should have declared Peter Obi the candidate." How can they declare Peter Obi the candidate? Are we running from fry pan to fire? We don't want Nigeria's change. The way Peter Obi's support was organic. That is the way we want him to come to power. We don't want it to be one de facto system that will just bring him to power. No, I don't think that's what we want. We don't want that. We want, look, ADC should evolve organically as a political party. Now, we should not be so scared about, I know we have people that are supporting Peter Obi, the way people were supporting Buhari, But you shouldn't be so scared that, he will not win the primaries. No! That fear is even the biggest problem, and this is what the opponents would thrive on. When your opponents know you're afraid, let ADC form as a political party. Let them go to the grassroots. I mean, how can we be thinking that we want Nigeria to change? That we want a power grab? No, we don't want Peter Obi to be a power grab. We want the Nigerian people to take their country back. For the Nigerian people to take their country back, if ADC is the political party, it needs to evolve organically. It needs to go to the grassroots, go to the world level, go to the world level, build up, go to the local government, build up. Then come to the state level, build up before it comes to the national. Not just, Peter Obi is the candidate. What's next? In fact, that would be the worst political move that will ever be made. That would just bust the bubble of everything. 2 years to an election. That is it. That would be the daftest.
So, but is there anything wrong with them having a consensus around Peter Obi?
Consensus by who?
By the party members.
Which party members? Who are the party members?
ADC party members.
Why are we still running into that? We think we want a change. We are going back to the same shit we are talking about.
Consensus is
constitutional. The Nigerian people want a leader that they choose. And the party is a way to make the people choose their leader. The ADC should go to the world and get people to join, get people to register in that party. Go to the local government, build the party up from the grassroots. Build it up and let the people choose their leader. That's the way it should work. You shouldn't be looking at this, let somebody. So what you want is those buccaneers, because the truth about it is that some of all those people who are forming the ADC, like I said, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly in every army. Some of them are buccaneers. If you give them a chance, they will take everything. We don't want all those David Magnum to just sit and lord over us. We have chosen Peter Obi as the next candidate. Consensus. We don't want that. What we want, ADC should go to the world level, build up the party, register candidates, build up from the world level, build up in the local government level, build up the state level, have executives, and then let us have people of proper character.
See, I hear what you are saying, though, but you have to understand that ADC has already been built in their own way.
It has not been built, forefathers.
Sorry. Let me finish what I'm saying. It's already a party before they came and joined it. And now these big wigs have given the party a kind of a weight behind it. And remember, politics in Nigeria is not. I hear what you are saying. I'm not disputing what you are saying, that if you have a party that is built from ground up based on the masses, it's a good thing. But right now we don't have that. Even Showori cannot even brag of it, which is sad. We don't have a party that is built from ground up by members like that. So why do you expect it from ADC?
This is the problem we have with Nigerians. Look, let me tell you what I've noticed from what I've seen around the world. Nigerians are, the moment you throw the first brick wall at them, they just believe that is not going to work, and they find the shortest cut, the cheating way to go through. That is the way we all function. It's the same thing that has affected our school. Children, they give them a problem, it's difficult for them, they look for the way to cheat, and then you say you passed. That's why we are turning out people that are low in mental acuity. If you go to the Western world, no matter how difficult a situation is, they will keep tilling at it, keep digging at it till they solve it. ADC has time. Forefathers, one of the things the Ralph Osudi, the former party, the man that handed the party to David Mark, he said that all the structures have been shelved down. The structures have been shelved down, which means that, look, you guys, we have shelved down all the structures, all executives have gone. You go and build the party up. Go to the world level, get people to register, have open registration, get people to register, go to the local government, get people to build up the structure from days. That is the only way you will defeat APC. You build up the structure and let the people be involved. The people must be involved.
Yeah, but is this party not part PDP? Labor, some Labor people are there, some PDP people are there. People from different parties are already. They already have a base.
Forefathers, it doesn't have a base. Those people are not members. What ADC needs to do is to go and get people to register. So if you show is a member, is an obedient supporter, he should go and register in his ward. That's what show should go and do. Go and register in your ward. Get the obedience to look. If you want Nigeria to grow, if anybody that is supporting Peter Obi and you think that okay, you want him to be the ADC candidate, what you all need to do, ADC. Push for ADC is not to say declare Peter Obi candidates. No, push for ADC to start ward registration, and then push all the people, all those young people, push them into the wards. Go and register.
But to what end though? Because the same
look at the
effect
end,
is still. Let me describe what I would. Let me describe the alternative one. To the end is still likely to be the same influence that influences Nigerians all the time. These people need money and they will still be bribed and they will still vote according to the bribe that they take.
It's not forefathers. This is the same thing I just talked about now. We just believe that now so it go be, now so it go be. Now so it is like this. It is not like that. Go to the world level. People like show, get your people, get the obedient people to move into ADC, register. By the time you register in the ward and your number is much, you will be the one that will choose the ward executives. You go to the local government, you push yourself inside there, you register. By the time you do that, the young people are more than the old people. Push yourself inside there, you will have
the young people. Do not take money. Are you trying to say the young people don't take money?
Fathers, the people that followed Peter Obi were saying they don't take shishi. Those people like show that saying they don't take shishi, that want Nigeria to change. That say, okay, Obi is our man. All of them say we want Obi. Push yourselves into the war.
No, Dexter, what is wrong in having a consensus candidate? What is wrong in having a consensus candidate? Is it against the constitution?
It is not time to have a consensus candidate.
No. Is it against the constitution of the land? I want to know. I want to understand. Is it against the electoral laws?
There's no problem in saying you have a consensus candidate, but let me tell you something. You don't solve a problem with the old way tactics.
We don't have that time right now, unless you want people to continue. We don't have such time.
You have the time. You have the time. It was in 2020. It was towards the end of it was early 2013 that APC started their major move. You have the time. ADC has the time. Build the party up. The problem is this fear. Like I said, Nigerians have this. Once they just throw us a brick wall, we cannot even think. We don't even say, let us think, how can we solve this problem?
I think you're forgetting how APC was built, right? You're forgetting something?
See, let me see. Dati Baba Ahmed said something when you go and listen to the interview. And he said it. You guys, look, you cannot play Tinubu's play script and defeat Tinubu. What we want, what all of us here, we want the Tinubu. Stop looking at the APC play script. Dati Baba Ahmed, that is why Dati Baba said, he actually said in that interview that he cannot actually tell you that Peter Obi has left Labour Party. That even him, he has not left Labour Party. In fact, he said that he wants to settle the crisis of Labour Party, that he would prefer them to run on Labour Party. Why? You cannot play Tinubu's play script and expect to win him. You have to come with something new. What made Peter Obi popular and what gave him those votes was the organic followership. You cannot fracture it. You cannot fracture it with the Buccaneer style of PDP. Or
no, as obedient right now. As obedient.
Hold on.
How much are you willing?
Hold on, Kenny. Let me just deal with this, Kenny. Let me ask you though. Let me ask you, Dexter.
Yes.
If say Peter Obi went on his own and ran with Dati, in my own opinion, and I'm sure with a lot of people, they don't see him surmounting Tinubu. If he goes with maybe some other heavyweight in the north, like Rufai or who knows who else, like I think Tambo or somebody, he does have a bit of chance to do that. But with ADC and all the other parties working together with what they had before, Tinubu will eat into their numbers, but they do stand a better chance. So if you're arguing that he should go on his own, except you want Tinubu to carry on, you don't want to stop him now.
Let me tell you, forefathers, let me bust your bubble. There's another thing Phil said, which I don't agree with. I will address it. Let me bust your bubble here. Let me tell you, Nigeria, you have almost, I think, 189,000 roughly polling units in Nigeria. Okay? Now, the supporters of Peter Obi genuinely believe he won that election. Not so. There was a Nigerian guy that was saying that, why is it that we are always waiting for INEC to produce results when we can actually have people on the ground to capture that result, and it will be the people against what INEC is providing. The point is this: just assume that Nigeria has 200,000 wards, 12 polling units. That means you need 200,000 people minimum, 200,000 people to be on ground monitoring election. Abi, that's what you need. 200,000 people to be on ground to say, once polling unit has finished voting, I will take a picture of that result sheet and upload it on whatever, WhatsApp, wherever. Let everybody be seeing the result from every polling. So to cover everything, 200,000 forefathers. If you were supposed to pay those people, those 200,000 people, just pay them 5,000 naira each. Punch your calculator, find out how much it will be. And just take into fact that Nigeria, 5,000 naira is nothing now. Okay? So if you punch your calculator, how much will that be? Peter Obi ran election.
That's 1 billion naira, Dexter.
Good. Peter Obi ran election. His election spend was 1 billion naira. That was including campaign, whatever. It was about 1 billion naira. Forefathers, that is just to keep. That is just for polling unit agent. That 5,000 naira, you have not talked about their transportation. Some of them will spend 2 or 3 days accommodation. Forefathers, to run election in Nigeria is not easy. Are you hearing me? So the reason why the lack of viability of people like Peter Obi and that is running on Labour Party, it's not because they cannot win. It's because that is when they talk about political structure. That is that thing, that ability to be on ground. That is where these buccaneers from ADC come into play. It is this Atiku, Rufai, all these big wigs. That is where they come into play. Where somebody can tell you, okay, look, the whole of Northeast, I'm taking care of all the polling unit agent and the person is managing it. So that is where the whole money thing comes into play. And that is why you cannot, if anybody that wants a change in Nigeria cannot be supporting Peter Obi and then be expecting the old system to bring him into power. And if you allow the old system to bring him into power, he will be subject to it. Now the people have a chance. And people should stop saying it cannot happen. If the people want to push Peter Obi and want their mandates, what they need to do is they must be visible. Visibility in politics is what the people. Why do you think they were afraid of Buhari? It's because of visibility of his supporters. If you people want to support Peter Obi, go to the world level, register in mass, you will choose the. Is it not politics? Is it not to vote for who will be council chairman or what? You will literally put in the delegates.
Thank you.
Listen, the second person.
Thank you. Let me move to the next person before.
Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay. 2 minutes? No, what is 2 minutes? 30 seconds.
This idea of Atiku will not let us desensitize ourselves of these calculations that are false and baseless. Oh, Atiku must run, Atiku will not run. And let us stop thinking that way. Atiku is not parochial. Let's stop, let's disabuse ourselves for that thing. If just go back, Atiku was even ready not to run in the PDP primaries.
He didn't want to run. People just keep assuming that he.
Yes,
but we don't know. We don't know.
Zone the presidency to end. If you
Commander Atiku wanted to run, which
he told them
to calm down. It's organized now. It's very, very organized. Can you must stop? Okay, Dexter, it's okay. It's okay. You used up your time.
Atiku wanted
10 seconds.
To zone it to the south.
Dexter, you're not the only one that has
somebody else. Let other people speak.
It's more than 20 minutes, man. It's more than 20 minutes.
Thank you. Let's take it
You
easy.
can't let one person speaking.
Yeah, Uzo Kano is there now. Uzo is here. Uzo, what do you make of
Bode
it
has
now?
been here. Man of Presi has been here. No, Uzo came.
Oh, forefather, I think it's time we
Uzo
shut this show down. You mean bias? You wasting our time. You keeping us waiting.
Come on, you know we're not shutting any. We are not wasting any time.
It's not Uzo time. It's body time.
It's not a
Okay. I will try to rotate it faster. Okay, everybody individually have to learn.
Bode, man of Presi.
It's my time.
Shut up there.
It's not AY. You are not the moderator. Hold on.
It's not a prestige. AY.
Can we conduct ourselves
but I was there before body now. I was there before body.
You were backstage. You were not.
Okay.
Let me deal with Uzo and Body. I will try to be fast with it now. AY, come on. I will try to be fast with it. Okay, Uzo, you finished speaking. Thank you for your contribution. Let's go to a Body. But I'm just kidding.
I said anything now. What's wrong with you?
No, I was just joking. So, but what do you make of this coalition, though? Do you see them getting anywhere? Because I think, from what Show is saying, he doesn't even think it's going to amount to much. They are not going to do anything. I am not so sure that's the case, because they are seeing the writing on the wall that if they don't do anything now, Tinubu is going to go on to govern as a very, very powerful president, and he will anoint the next person that is going to come after him. So maybe that is enough to put the fear of God in them to actually concentrate to work together. But I don't know what you make of it. You as an obedient, what kind of configuration would you like to see from that ADC that will work out? And that is also realistic. Please go ahead.
Is it for
I said it last time.
No, not you, Body. Uzo.
By the way, I said it last time. That's how I said it. If it is not taken, Peter Obi might not even see a party to run in 2027. If it is not taken, I said it right. You will not even see a party to run. All right. And I'll say this: the ADC is the organization of past and present governors and ministers or people that have led APC. 2 years ago, some of those guys was in APC, shouting "Kill Obedient, keep it Obi." Today now they are shouting Obedient should be there. I'm sure they give us something to talk about. We'll still be talking something else, like election reform, how to reform the system. We're here saying about ADC. I'm sure they have added me for only 4 groups right now. 4 groups of ADC. So people are running with ADC right now. So that's how they run with Labour Party last time. And all the people who voted for the other party to go to House of Rep and Senate, what do they do? The same thing is going to happen again. So there's anybody that dog bite mama. Is anything we get he will run. All right. For me, I don't see this ADC as they can't beat Tinubu. Let me tell you the truth. Someone like me, all right, this is what me support that ADC. I go governor my put for Tinubu back, because there's no change. There's no change. It's the same people, the same process, the same thing.
So are you saying that if Peter Obi is the top of the ticket, Rufai and Tambowa, any one of them is running mate, they don't stand a chance against, and Atiku backs them, they don't stand a chance of beating Tinubu?
Wait, do you know you just called Atiku? You called Atiku. Atiku, Tambowa is Atiku boy. You know, we all know that. That's the problem with Wike and Atiku. After what Wike did for Tambowa, he stepped down for Atiku at the PDP convention. So you expect that that's what.
So, but if Tambowa is now running as running mate for Peter Obi, knowing that Peter Obi wants to run for one term, Peter Obi stepped down for him, is that not Atiku's boy that is going to be running for president the next time?
You see this ADC you're talking about. This is not ADC. Where this is as a party, all right? We know how they road. This is a coalition of past and present. Amaechi, Rufai. Look at the names that are all there. All right, those guys are there for Nigeria for to train Nigeria.
Why do people keep saying that? That's not still the same thing for APC. That's what APC did too.
I asked this the last time I came here. I said, why is it that there's something we are missing here? Why is it that anytime there's a certain president, a coalition will be built to take him out after 4 years? Where you run there for 8 years, everything was haram. All right, now Tinubu have gone there now. All right. It's okay. They put don't take him out again after 4 years. And to take me out, they have to use a certain person, take a certain person out. All right. So I'm looking at it as me, I don't believe in the coalition they are doing there. If Peter Obi, as Peter Obi pro to say, if you run under Labour any party and lose, fairly. We take it. Damn, all these criminals bringing it together, sharing by now they have, okay, Rufai be Minister of Defense, this will be this will be that, this will be that, Peter Obi be the president. They already share everything. Peter Obi cannot do any magic there. It's going to be worse, all right? If Peter Obi runs as Labour Party and lost in a fair and fair election, everybody will take it, all right? But going to with Tambo, all those people and win the election, that is not it. You can't change anything.
Wow.
You can't change anything. You can't run.
That's an interesting point.
Somebody like Tambwa, Rufai, and win the election. And Peter Obi always say that the process that bring you to the process matters that bring you to the top. It matters, not you being there. So what he said, let him always stand on that, and I will say, I tell you, if Peter Obi goes, that 6 million vote he have. I already said it here. That 6 million is almost 6 million. That 6 million is like 4 million now. And if he go ahead with this coalition, it becomes 2 million. It becomes 2 million. All right. And remember, the last election.
Let me go to body. This is also. I think. Thank you for that. So that we can.
For 5 minutes. Thank you for that. That's
the
plan.
No, I'm trying to speed it up now, so it gets through everybody. Try to understand. I appreciate you now. You're my man now. You know now. Thank you for that. Buddy. So, what do you make of this palaver that we're getting with this party ADC? Because if he's to unseat President Tinubu, let's not forget he got 36% of the vote. The way we are acting as if it's some kind of Thanos that nobody can take out is a little bit weird. And people keep thinking that they know Atiku. They are so sure Atiku wants to run. And yet there was this information that came out the last time that Atiku didn't want to run, that he didn't like what making it do or die, that he has to run. That he was just saying that he should, zone it to the southeast. And if they don't, then it's all for grabs. So, but Wike, with his ambition, didn't let that happen. If he had let it happen, maybe we wouldn't be speaking Tinubu today. We'll be talking about Amaechi or Peter Obi. Who knows? We'll be talking about. Okay, so what do you make of the, what you have seen and what you've had so far?
Very nice. That's why you usually have the school of reality, very close to the school of drama. As of today, there's no membership of any party called ADC or whatever you call it. Only 2 members, as of today, existed as a member of ADC. Only Aregbe Shola and the interim national chairman. Atiku as of today, you were there, you saw it live on TV. Those are the only 2 people that were issued a membership card. By the
but it was deliberate though. It was deliberate. It wasn't because they were lacking. It was deliberate.
Because there was a report that their website crashed. I was suspecting maybe because people go there to register. That's the only reason why a website will crash. I'm just asking, are you sure of what you're saying, or you're just joking?
I'm not joking. You saw it on live TV. We have only 2 members that were issued a card.
Party. There have been members before now. Please, let's stop this kind of.
Let me put my point. In the last general election, if you want to determine the membership of the party, you can check with the INEC. They have the register submitted to INEC. But what I can see today, ADC of 2023 is quite different from ADC of today. That's a fact. ADC of today only has 2 membership. They can only talk of. The rest are promoters. And all the promoters, let me mention the promoters to you. Atiku, Obi, Tambwa, Rotimi Amaechi. And they all have presidential ambition. If you've seen, you always say they unveil the party. They've been coming out with proposal. The first person was Obi. That, one time. He even said he can even solve the problem in Nigeria in 2 years. The following person was Amaechi. He said, 1 year term, 1 year proposal. Just yesterday or this morning, Atiku came up with the same proposal as well. That is going to run. That is going to solve the Nigerian problem. So, and we are comparing it to 2023. Is that the same thing that happened in 2023? Having been that all the promoters of APC in 2013 had ambition, would they be where they are today?
Yeah, but not see, a lot of them had ambition even in 2013. However, there are only 2 of them that have credible this in terms of standing. No, it's credible standing, which is the one that have won 6 million votes each. Atiku and Peter Obi. The others, I don't think they even stand a chance to compete against those two.
The chief promoter of ADC is Atiku. It's the one that been financing them.
No,
the one
that's
that,
not true.
The one that rented the hall, the one that rented the hall, the Burasaya Address Center they used during the week was Atiku. It's the one that brought all of them together. He has the yam, he has the knife. Everybody should know that. So
what do you think he's going to request? Do you think he wants to run himself? Or he will give way?
He won't give way. You know, Atiku. Do you think Atiku is leaving PDP for a joke? Are we joking? Atiku is not leaving PDP for a joke. He's leaving PDP for a purpose.
Or maybe he doesn't like Tinubu too.
No, it's not leaving PDP for a joke.
Okay, but what was it true? First of all, I will ask you this so that I'll get your thinking. Was it true that he wanted the PDP to zone their ticket to the southeast in the last election cycle? Is that true?
No, that's not correct. Absolutely, that's not correct. Let me give you the background. At that point in time then, because, you know, in 2019, Obi and Atiku, they ran on the same ticket. And Obi was contemplating whether Atiku is going to pick him as the vice president. And he went to Atiku. This is a known fact. Atiku did not assure him. Atiku told him that, hey, this time around it's not possible. Because Atiku is, you know, is the one spending the money. He has to look for a southern candidate that has the money. The bulk of the money they used in 2023 was from Delta State. Do you think Obi has that money?
I thought Atiku has money already.
Immediately, remember,
sorry, I thought Atiku has money already.
Atiku has the money, but you see Atiku don't spend on party. Atiku only spend when election is closer. In 2019, you know what?
The election was
immediately Obi was nominated as the vice presidential candidate to Atiku. They started mobilizing funds, resources for the election. What did Obi said? Obi said, EFCC has placed an embargo on his account. Go and check. It's a fact. Obi didn't contribute shishi to Atiku's campaign in 2019. And you want the same guy. Immediately Obi realized that he couldn't secure PDP ticket and they're not going to macro zone. He jumped out of the party. The same thing will happen in 2027.
So you are actually saying that Peter Obi was looking to run as a running mate?
Obi is not looking at
you are the first person. No, sorry. You are saying that in 2023 he was looking to run, or 2022 he was looking to run as a running mate.
Obi will not run as a running mate in 2027. Obi will run as a candidate.
Yeah, but you are making an assertion. Sorry. You're not going to just jump past this one. You're making an assertion here that Peter Obi was looking to be a running mate for Atiku in 2022,
2023, before he jumped out.
Does anyone else, can anybody else corroborate that?
Yes. I don't.
That is not true. That is not true.
Your voice is not. Absolute is completely.
That is not true.
Enemies of progress.
We know it's not. That's not true.
You know, the political fights against them. They won't agree. In 20,
I would like anybody that has any evidence for this to provide it.
I don't know if it's coming out anymore. Because
let me give you an evidence.
In the activity of quantifying, they failed.
Okay,
we've come here to say things to them and come to pass several times, and they couldn't agree. We are still telling them this time around what will happen.
Okay, hold on, because I think what you have said is not a way to defend what you just said. Sorry, buddy, hold on. Because I just like to get a few things straight. Even if we say a few words, I will get it straight. It's better off than so many words. Where's your evidence? This
is on point. If you remember the PDP primaries, anybody remember the PDP primaries? As soon as the running mate was picked, as soon as the event was ended, Obi walked out of the show, right?
No, it wasn't running mate.
You are lying. Obi was not at the primaries.
It wasn't running mate. It wasn't running mate. Hold on. It wasn't running mate. This is what happened. Let me refresh our memory, right?
When I finish what I'm saying,
Wike was nursing the ambition of being a running mate. while Obi was nursing the ambition of being the candidate, the presidential candidate.
Can you allow me finish?
Okay, let's just finish because conjecture is not an evidence. Conjecture is not evidence. When he left, is not an evidence of anything.
If I ask you, waiting I talk, you know go know. Waiting Obi talk, you know go know. You will lie. Allow me finish.
Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Go ahead.
So the body put it in a very short term. Una no disagree. So let me break it down. Where he is going, where he came out from, he come to conclusion with that. And they tell you after the primary, as soon as Obi walk out of the venue, when reporters approach him, waiting in talk.
What did he say?
No. Remind me now. I said waiting in talk. That was when
you are the one providing evidence.
Huh?
You are the one that said you're going to provide evidence.
Forefathers, can I say something? Can I say something? Forefathers, I want to say something.
Let Obi finish first. Sorry. Obi, tell us what he said now so that we can move on.
You know, I was only giving my time. I never finish.
Yes, we know.
Finish, buddy.
What did Peter Obi say when he left the convention? Tell me what he said so that the viewers can know.
The popular phrase or the viral phrase that Atiku is my brother and is the best person for the job. When did this utter that word? When did he make it popular?
Was Atiku a presidential candidate or vice?
That was the primaries.
No, was it vice or presidential?
Primaries.
Thank you. Now, this is where you're contradicting yourself. No, this is where you are contradicting yourself. Let me help you.
What are you guys even arguing for?
Hold on now, even my guy. Hold on.
At that point in time, they're talking like obedience.
One at a time, please. One at a time.
What are you arguing for now?
Hold on now.
That's a simple point.
Hold on. It's nothing like obedience. It was that very movement. It was after
Father, what are you doing? What are you doing, Father?
What are you arguing for?
Hold on, don't worry, it's going to be your turn soon.
Father, it's my turn now, and I would like to address this issue. No, Father, it's my turn now. Why are you taking me down?
No, man of President hasn't spoken. Man of President came first.
No,
and
Father, don't do this. I've been here for a long time.
You wanted us to
I was supposed to go before body. You said that body was there.
Hold on.
It's my turn.
Everybody cannot talk at the same time.
It's my turn. Don't take me down.
Okay, let's hold on. Let's straighten some things out. I can go and find the evidence that man of prejudice is ahead of you, or if I find that it is wrong, I will put you first.
I'm the next in line. Not man of prejudice.
Okay. We are going to get to the truth. Don't worry about that. I will be able to get. Can I finish? Can I finish speaking, please? Can I finish speaking, please? I will get to the bottom of it, Kene, if who is ahead of the other. But see, let me ask this question. I'm sorry to say, Ovie, that the evidence you provided is no reason to say he wants to be.
Hold on now, let me finish.
Forefathers, let me give you an evidence.
Hold on. Forefather, you did not disagree with me that before that statement, Obi and Labour Party is not in existence. You are not disagreeing with me.
Yes.
You are not disagreeing with me, but before that statement,
he hasn't left the party.
No, Obi was still a member of PDP as at that time.
On the same day. Yes, of course. Yes. You are muted.
Obi was nursing the ambition of being the president, and he was hoping on a free and fair primaries. So since there was a collabo between
that is true. That is true. Kene is right, and there is evidence. I can give you one evidence.
Left PDP for Labour Party, not to becoming the vice president. He wasn't bidding for the vice presidential seat, but for the presidential seat. Obi was bidding for the president.
You can't characterize the news, the story that we saw by ourselves.
Let's move on.
Forefather. Before primaries, nobody they know who vice president won't be. It was only the candidate.
That's true.
You understand? It was only the candidate. Obi was not going there with delegates. Abi, did he go there with any delegates?
Oh my God! So that is the reason why he's looking for vice presidential position.
After that disappointment,
thinking they're going to microzone to Southeast. That was his thinking. And they didn't do that.
Yeah. If you tell me that he was hoping that he was going to be microzone to the south,
let me give you the timeline.
But he wasn't. That's why he left. Hold on.
Give me 1 minute.
No. Why are we so much in a hurry? We are not rushing anywhere. Calm down. If we are saying that he was hoping that it was going to be a microzone to the southeast, that's why he left. That is fine, but that is not. I think saying from moving from there and saying that he was looking to be a vice presidential candidate, I don't think that was the case, because by the time Atiku picked his vice presidential candidate, obedient movement had already started.
Listen.
I don't know what we're going on.
Let me give you the timeline.
Can I say something? What you said is true.
Let me have my time. By the time they started the campaign, primary campaign, Wike was moving around, Atiku was moving around, Obi too was moving around. But Obi have two double-edged sword. At that point in time, it wasn't that active in campaign. That's why the phrase Ofie said that Atiku was my boss. He wasn't totally into the race.
But you are just wasting.
And at that point in time,
that even when he was
at that point in time, until they set up Autumn's committee to decide whether they are going to sow to the north or they are going to sow to the south. And at that point in time, the Autumn committee come up with the report that they are not sowing anywhere, that they should throw the race open. Do you remember that? Immediately they throw the race open, and they are approaching the primary. Obi jumped out.
It's taking too long, man. Please.
The same thing you are seeing obedient today. That's why they are talking about consensus candidate. You see them mentioning consensus candidate.
What date did Peter Obi leave PDP? What date? What was the date he left PDP? What was the date the primaries were held? Primaries were held 27th of May. He left 25th.
Leave this guy now. As if he just woke up from sleep.
Leave him.
You know what?
Why did you all this funny game?
We predicted that body was going to give us corn here, and it's giving us corn. Please, next, man of prestige, please.
Body has come out because his own listing. Okay. Can we bring in a few more people to have their say? Let's rotate it a bit.
Thank you, Father. Just that sometimes
why you packing me? I never asked you to. I've not said it's your turn.
Sometimes you want me. I wonder if I offended you.
Man of Prestige, were you here when you came on stage? Did you see Ekene on stage?
I was here when Man of Prestige spoke. I was here when he spoke. And then you're giving him second chance.
He hasn't spoken. Man of Prestige hasn't spoken.
Okay, my big brother, I will not contest with him. You can speak.
Man of Prestige hasn't spoken. Is it true?
No, you can. No, you can go ahead. Man of Prestige, go ahead. I can wait.
Come on now.
Exactly. Man of Prestige, you know this leopard, this thing that you are wearing. I was reading about it today. The Ishago. Hold on now. I want to tell you about your Ishago. Calm down. I was reading about Ishago. What kind of wahala band is this one now? Uzo, calm down.
What do you call Ishago going where? Club going where? We do the discuss.
You see my trouble? Uzo, what is your problem? I'm trying to discuss something very important here. You want to knock it off. I want to talk about Ishiago because it turns out that this leopard is the symbol of Igbo. They use it as totem. It's not lion. That is actually Ishiago. That's leopard. It turns out that it's supposed to be a leopard, not a lion.
I heard that discussion.
It was very fascinating. No, because it's very fascinating that he's wearing it here. Because because I saw some Igbo people dancing and they were using that leopard skin, so I was very curious about it. Like, because it was supposed to be South African that use it, but it turns out that it's supposed to be the animal for Ishiago, but they converted to lion, which was weird. So it's just something that is a trivia. I just thought I should share. But that said, you'll be listening to many of the stuff going with this ADC business. Where do you see it going? Is it going to go anywhere? Because personally, I think it's going to go somewhere because these people see danger that if Tinubu carries on the way he's carrying on, I don't think many of them will be in Gadroom by the time Tinubu's term is over. Many of them might be in Gadroom like the way Mayfele is. So what do you make of what is happening?
Okay, thank you very much. Greeting everybody. Please, everybody should be quiet. Nobody should interject when I'm talking. I don't, you should give me my privilege to speak, please. I don't want to interject, and I will not tolerate it. So having said that, I was going to interject earlier, but you didn't want me to interject, which is a good thing anyway. I was going to tell KJ, that he's politically, he's kind of green on what he said when he said that he should be running as a running mate. I mean, when you're forming a coalition, you have to give and take. I mean, let me not berate KJ. He's not on this platform, so let me let that go. So the point we are talking about right now, I don't know why we're still talking about this. I've spoken on this earlier because I have other topic I would have used my chance to do. I would have talked about Trump beautiful bill, how he's winning in America, make America great again. He's making America great again. So I wanted to talk about that. And I wanted to talk about our beloved footballer that died, Rufai, that died at the age of 65. He was part of those good, the age of Nigeria, the golden age of Nigerian Green Eagles. So I guess we're not going to talk. We're going to be talking about this nonsense we are talking about. But anyway, nonsense is nonsense, so I can talk about it. Let me start with the last statement. Let's diffuse some wrong information that perpetuates here about Peter Obi, that he wanted to be a vice president to Atiku. That cannot be far from being true, because when that rumor was surfacing, Atiku never meant to. All we're hearing was just a speculation. There was never time Atiku was ready to zone that president to the southeast. That was just lie. He wanted to be, he wanted to be the president as he wants to be right now. He still wants to be the president regardless of this, whatever is going on right now. So when it comes to Wike, what Wike was doing about that time was more of a reaction. Obi was hoping they was going to zone it to the southeast. So he has already left when some member of the PDP begin to ask Atiku to give, for Obi to still be his running mate. If we look at what's this man's name, this governor of, Governor Babangida Aliyu, the former Niger State governor, right? He's the one. He was one of those people that was wanted to, want Obi to be the running mate. Obi never asked for running mate. Right, and by that time, Obi has already left Labour Party, because he was nothing for presidential appeal. So no time that Obi wanted to be the running mate. But having said that, let's talk about this present coalition. Am I for it? Not necessarily, because I'm still skeptical, because as of yesterday, Atiku was telling his people in Hausa language. I think some people came and interpreted it. He said he's going to stop corruption and everything if he becomes the president. That means he's still nothing to be a president. He's still nothing to be the president. So what is this coalition going to be? I'm for the coalition if it is rare, but I have my doubt because of where Atiku stand. In my own opinion,
but sorry, have we confirmed the videos, that specific video source that
yes,
is talking about being the president? And it was yesterday.
Yeah, and people has came and interpreted it. Right. Okay. So he's, in that case, he's still nothing. If you look at what's going on around, let me be very specific. This is my own personal opinion. The president should still remain in the South. Why am I saying this? If they don't give Obi the ticket, by default, let it default to Tinubu. It has to be the Southern presidency. But there has been unfairly, the South has been unfairly marginalized. I'll be very realistic. If you look at, since Nigeria become independent, I hate to go back, but I need to let it know. That's the way I feel. Since Nigeria has become independent, the Northerners has ruled the country 47, for 47 years. The Southerners has ruled the country 18 years. Out of that 18 years, the Southwest has ruled about 13 years. The South has ruled 5 years. The Southeast has only ruled 1 year. Imagine that. But we are not here to discuss about what is fair or unfair. But my point I'm trying to make.
Don't do that now. You know that is not fair. What you just did.
Contest. So let me not go there.
Hausa has no rule too.
The point I'm trying to make, calm down, father, that the presidency should be remain in the South. It doesn't matter. Even at all, as much as I dislike Tinubu, by default, let it be. They don't give it to Obi. In this so-called coalition we're having right now, it has to be Obi or nothing. Because Nobody, even Amaechi, don't have any political capital. Obi can beat him in River State. Let's even here, all these people from South South Obi can beat Amaechi in the South South. Go, take it to the bank. What is Atiku? Atiku doesn't have to run again. But people will be saying that Rufai, all that people, they're all criminal. Okay, let's say they're all the whole people gathering there, they're all criminals. What is the present APC? Are they not 419? So let's call the present APC 419. Then let's call the congregation of the whole coalition to criminal.
They are the same.
419 and criminal. What's the difference?
Remove the P and remove the D. Remove the P and remove the D. They are the same thing.
Yeah, the ADC, call them criminal.
PDP,
that's what it is. 419 is a criminal too. So nobody's innocent in that country. Everybody's criminal. But we have to take what we have right now. I mean, people are sure already, like some people are here professing like they should start from grassroots, bring somebody new. Nigeria is not there yet. We are not right here. There's no way you're going to bring somebody new. If they can't go to they can't go and ruin Nigeria. You can't even, they can't even give you a space. They go buy you. So there's no room for that. It's a bunch of criminals. But if the bunch of criminals that we have here, can you stop what we have right now? Because what we have right now.
Yeah, but don't you think that there's also a political drag right now in terms of difficulty for a northern person to win the election? Because one, I think I've heard it a few times, including yourself, I've said it, that instead of them to have a northern candidate become a prime leader, they would rather have Tinubu. You see that? So there's a drag, and so ADC should be aware of this. And I hope Atiku is hearing it, because if he's stupid enough to go and think that if he wins that ticket, when there's an alternative person that is more attractive.
ADC know what is good for them. It shouldn't be an open convention, because Obi doesn't like to buy people. Obi, even I thought he has a little bit of money. You can't compare him with Atiku and some other big way there, He can't win because
my thing is that Atiku should back Peter Obi. I don't know why he can't. That man and his own ambition.
Look at this guy.
As of right now.
No, why not? People back people all the time. Tinubu back so many candidates. Why can't he just back somebody?
As of right now, Atiku have no intention. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But as of right now, Atiku has no intention. Look at the congregation of people there. They are all Atiku henchmen. They are all for Atiku. Obi, some people said, why is Obi going there? That is the last alternative, because Obi can't win by himself. Labour Party doesn't have the financial backing, the structure and everything. When I mean by structure, I don't mean people's structure. Obi has the grassroots, which is the structure. But
we need to move on to the American DC now. Time is running out. Let's not go on too long anymore. We have to try to keep it brief. Everybody, please, because we don't have a lot of time. We have about at most 40 minutes to listen to round up. So let me we need to go into American politics.
Let me run up. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say, I'm in favor of this so-called coalition. But if they can get their act together and be able to congregate, because as of right now, they don't have any sitting governor that has agreed to join the coalition. Even at their the other state governor said not yet, he is not there. So they need that in terms of the financial backing and that kind of structure, not the human structure. So that's needed. But let's just wait. It's pretty new, but it's a welcome development. Let's see what happens. If they're gonna, if they're gonna align themselves with the right man, which is Obi. So in a nutshell, my final analysis: Obi or nothing. Let it be Tinubu. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, Kene, please. Yeah, welcome. So, what do you make of the part of everything everybody has got to say? Exactly. You don't have more than 3 minutes. I'm sorry to say.
You did not. You failed to manage your time. You gave this guy
Dexter.
What's his name? No, Dexter, you gave him 30 minutes. You gave Ovie 20 minutes. You gave Body 15 minutes. Right? So you manage it.
No,
let me try as much as possible. See, for the noisemakers, please keep quiet. I don't want any interjection. This guy, AY especially. Now, this is it, right? 2023, PDP's primary, we all remember what happened. Wike was the money bag. As usual, they always use those from River State as money bags, right? Now, he was willing to bring the money. While Atiku was nursing the ambition of being the presidential candidate. Obi on his own side was also nursing the ambition of being presidential candidate, only if there will be free and fair primaries without money exchanging hands. Now, what happened? Tambuwal was to support Wike's ambition of becoming the VP, being that Tambuwal is Atiku's boy. But what happened? They had a different agenda with Okowa. So at the day of primaries, the game changed. Wike saw that, oh, Tambuwal betrayed him, right? Obi on the other side saw that, okay, it's all about money. The guy man pulled out immediately and left the party. So Obi never, for once, knows the ambition of becoming the vice president at all. That never happened in 2023. But I said, do not interject. Who is that?
Check punch.
I said, do not interject. Didn't you hear me? Hold on.
Go check it. Go check punch.
Block him. Move him, please. Now, this is it. Moving forward. Yeah, moving forward, right?
Why don't you provide the link? Why don't you provide the link, but instead of interrupting?
Yeah, moving forward. My brother Shosho was calculating how many years the Yorubas, the Southerners, have been in power versus how many years the Northerners. Let me help him to break it down so that we understand it very well. You should say how many years the Yorubas have been in power and how many years the Fulanis have been in power. 8 years of Yorubas, 4 years of Yoruba, currently with this guy now, the Tinubu, then 6 years of Southerner, right? Now, we have 10 years of Fulanis. Now, my question to you is, what about the Igbos and the Hausas? Are they, they are not in the picture. But this is what will happen to ADC or APC or whatever they call themselves, PDP, in this forthcoming election. The only alternative that ADC has today to triumph in that election is to have Peter Obi as the presidential candidate. Now, if you want to have a vice president, right, for Peter Obi, I wouldn't say go for Dati, because you'd be like Labour Party guys just came to ADC when it's supposed to be a coalition of different parties, and now they took over everything. Maybe Tambuwal, but because Tambuwal has a godfather, Atiku, to be a difficult task for Peter Obi, but in all fairness, you can't have everything all together. So Peter Obi need to work with the coalition members. So Tambuwal may work with Peter Obi as the vice presidential candidate. That is the only option that ADC has. And let me help them to break it down. If you go to South today, Southeast and Middle Belt, with El Rufai, ADC isn't going to get any votes. Zero. With Dati, that is going to tick each and every of these regions, Southeast, South, and Middle Belt. Tambuwal may tick part of Southeast. I mean, Southeast, because, Southeast, they're always for PDP, and all that, right? So he may tick Southeast. He may tick part of South. I don't know about Middle Belt. Not sure about Middle Belt. So Tambuwal stands a better chance than El Rufai. However, Dati dominates all, right? But you don't have everything come together, So they have to just take some and let some go. Now, we're talking about what happened to Fubara, and then what is likely happening to this guy today. What's they call him? Kashi of ADC. Kashi of ADC played the Nigerian normal politics. And today, the Nigerian normal politics is playing on him, and he's busy going around all the TV stations shouting like a baby, right? This is how Nigeria is. Somebody, I think it was Dexter, that was saying that, Obi shouldn't be the consensus candidate. How? In this Nigeria, you want things to be done orderly, and you actually expect that if it is done orderly, this guy, Peter Obi, is going to go anywhere? No. If the party, if ADC decide to have Peter Obi as a consensus candidate. I don't think anything is wrong with that. The only problem that I will have with Peter Obi tomorrow is if he failed to give the good governance that he promised Nigerians. That's the only way I can come against him. Or if the consensus wasn't actually a consensus, but a force, a kind of using force to dominate others and to push a candidate, then I would say, no, I'm out of it, because you can't impose a candidate on others. But if the party, if ADC come together and say, okay, Peter Obi is going to be our consensus candidate, I don't think anything is wrong with that. Now, somebody commented on the comment section saying that it's the same people that will come up tomorrow and say, oh, Igbos are being marginalized. See, I don't care how they get it, provided they don't dominate Peter Obi on others. If the party come together and say Peter Obi is going to be a candidate, I don't think anything is wrong with that. We are talking about the Igbo chances of becoming the president, not the Southern chances. Somebody is saying that, oh, they should let the South to complete their term. Which South? You and who are talking about South? We're talking about the Igbo chances which Atiku and Tinubu maneuvered his way in. And you're telling me South. I don't know that Tinubu is a Southerner. All I know is that Peter Obi is an Igbo man and he should be the one to be there. Not any other Southerner. Not any other Southerner. It is either Igbo or nothing. It is either Peter Obi or nothing. If you bring Ojo Zokalo, I will say, please take it. We don't want. Let me list them. If you bring Ojo Zokalo today, I will say, take it. We Igbos, we can forfeit. We don't want to be we don't want our candidate to be the winner. Just take it. We don't want, right? If you bring who else is an idiot from Southeast apart from Ojo Zokalo?
Roger Sokrata.
If you bring Roger Sokrata, we say, take it. We don't need it. Do you understand? We are going for the best among us. We don't want to feel a criminal just because we want to have that our national cake. I don't even know if it is national cake or national bukutu, because it has never been useful to anyone in that country. See, we're not talking about it is time for South should complete. It is Southeast. Tinubu has taken the 4 years of Southeast. We want the remaining 4 years at least. Give it to us. And then watch out and see how we're going to transform that country and begin to give sense to each and every one of you. Because as it is Nigeria today, I was talking to somebody today, and he said that somebody
when are you going to stop now? You know, you
now. I'm concluding now.
You want to read the whole news.
Let me round it up with this one. One African guy called me and said, is it true that more than 70% of Nigerians are crazy people? I said, who told you that? He said, you saw it online. I said, no, I know as of last year, it was 65% of Nigerians are mad people. They have mental problems. I don't know, it has risen to 70.
Buddy, I think you have to watch what you said about the link.
So we need to restructure your brains one by one, so that we begin to think and behave like
Kene, before we go to the next thing, I don't want to do this because Masca hasn't spoken, Ovi hasn't spoken for a while. Buddy, the link you provided doesn't justify your claim, except there's another link.
Go to Atiku.
That link hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying.
I mentioned the timeline to you.
Can I finish what I'm saying? That link doesn't say that Peter Obi left PDP because he wasn't made a running mate.
Listen.
And Peter Obi went on.
What did the meeting with the governors forum said, forefather? Except you compression. Go back again.
I've checked it already. I've reviewed it.
What about the word rush? What did he say after the word rush?
Except they are different. Except they are different links.
He met with the governors forum. When they met with the governors forum said they're going to nominate the vice president for Atiku and they're going to nominate the chief of staff for Atiku. And Peter Obi didn't wait. That's what Atiku said. Read it.
Yeah, no. Hold on.
Read Mark.
Atiku said it himself. Now you've presented two links. And two of them are from Punch. I checked one of them that he presented at first. And that one doesn't say any like that. That's why he provided the second one again. See, what they said, Peter Obi stressing yourself with Abado.
We know the argument right now. There's no point.
Forefathers.
Let's remember a Nigerian hero. Let's remember a Nigerian hero.
When Obi saw
No. Let's remember a Nigerian hero.
That was to tell his life story. But on the 3rd of July, Peter Rufai passed away. He was Nigeria's first-choice goalkeeper at 2 FIFA World Cups, USA 1994 and France 1998. And he played at 4 African Cup of Nations tournaments, winning the 1994 edition with the Super Eagles.
He was a man that was 100% dedicated to motherland. A young man who was committed to national assignments. There was no time he was called upon that he didn't show up.
His professional career saw him play for clubs in Belgium, the Netherlands, and Spain. After he retired from active football, Peter, a prince of the Royal House in Idimu, Lagos, set up the Star of Football Academy, where he continued to inspire, mentor, and nurture young footballers. Read a tribute by Nigeria's President Tinubu. Fondly called Dodo Mayana by fans, his death becomes the 6th from Nigeria's famous class of 1994.
I don't know why the president had to add the Royal House as if that is relevant to his title. All these people and their elitist kind of way of looking at them. I don't know what's wrong with them. You have to just bring out you from Lagos. Who cares whether it's from Lagos or Royal House? Just move on and celebrate the guy. Nobody in the UK will worry about where the person is from. He just had to insert that there. I don't know what's wrong with our people, man. Let me get back. Let's get back to. Let me play this scene. Yeah.
Let me clearly
so start from me now and go down. See, because.
Father, please, let me read this quote for you. He said, I think Peter was in a rush.
Just 30 seconds. I will not exceed 30 seconds.
No.
If I exceed 30 seconds,
he had his hand raised first.
Sure, 30 seconds.
No, sorry. It's not politics. I'm not going to be here for more than 30 seconds. I came back because of Peter Rufai. Just to link it back to our politicians and the way they treat some of our heroes. Peter Rufai and the 1994 set, they won the Tunisia 94 African Nations Cup, and they were promised a house each. You know that house was only given to them last month, and the man died a few days ago. The house that was promised to them in 1994, they only just gave it to them last week. That's all I came to say, not anything to do with this. But,
now, let me add to what he just said. You will start Nigeria. You will start Nigeria, provided you are not a politician, provided you are not a criminal politician. If you're a teacher, if you serve in the sports, if you are a police officer, army, soldier, you will be treated as a nobody. Recently, one police chief retired with 1 million naira. Nigeria is a show of shame. Shame. A shameless country. That's what Nigeria is.
Okay, thank you. Let me just play this so that we can go on to the next.
Sign some documents. Let's just listen in quickly to what he's saying.
That was kind of fun. 214. The motion is adopted.
Well, in the end, only 2 Republicans voted against, following massive efforts to bring holdouts on side. It means that Mr. Trump's deadline of Independence Day on the 4th of July tomorrow has been met, despite a delaying tactic by the Democratic House leader. Hakeem Jeffries, who gave the longest speech in the chamber in recent memory, was finally finishing on his feet before the vote was pushed through. The bill, which includes sweeping cuts to taxes and federal programs, is now expected to add trillions of dollars to national debt. It goes to Donald Trump tomorrow to sign into law. Well, this is a scene live in Congress, where we've just seen Speaker Mike Johnson. You can see him there in the centre of the screen. He has just announced in the last few minutes that the vote was passed, 218 yay, 214 nay, as they put it, and he then signed some documents. Let's just listen in quickly to what he's saying.
That was kind of fun. A couple questions real quick. Yes. Yeah, so the question, you didn't hear it, it's kind of loud in here. The question was, how did we get the holdouts to yes? Here's the So my leadership style is I try to be a servant leader, and as I mentioned earlier, I know what every member of this body, every member of this conference brings to the table, and the leader's job is to bring out everybody's best and get them to their highest and best use, and that takes some time. So what happened procedurally, not to get too deep in the weeds, but we got the Senate modifications to the House bill. Now we're really proud because the big beautiful bill, 85 to 90% of it is the original House product that we ourselves drafted over the course of more than a year. But when we went to the Senate, of course, as the other chambers have to do, they made.
So it looks like Trump is winning and winning, and I don't know whether he's going to get tired of winning. But that said, Americans are going to see Pepe sooner or later with all this stuff that's going on. It doesn't reach black people yet so far. So far, all he's been doing is Hispanics, foreigners, and wars.
Can I break it down for a minute? Can I give you information about that?
Hold on, I'll ask a question now. Yeah, this one is just the bill. I know about the implication of the bill in terms of it's going to cost trillions of debts. However, the birthright one is the one I'm a little bit more interested in. That what does that actually mean for people that are in America? What does that birthright ruling mean? Since he seems to have gotten his way on that one, please go ahead, man of prestige. Since you are in America.
Thank you very much. Let's talk about the beautiful tax bill. It has been passed. Of course, we know the tiebreaker in the Senate is the vice president. I think he has 50 votes, so we take one to make it a tiebreaker. Then you know what happened in the House. So it depends on how you look at it. You may consider it to be a beautiful bill for some people, not a beautiful bill for some other people. So there are some people that benefit. There are some people that doesn't benefit. Which will benefit? I'm not going to go in detail. There are some people that's going to suffer from it. People on the lower class, people on the Medicaid, which is mainly more of them are for Trump base. The people on Medicaid, they're going to be really impacted on that. People that receive some benefit and some other things, make less than 51,000 or something like 40,000, they won't receive some of the benefit. But the people that will pretty much gain that much, the people this tax benefit is people making like about 200,000 to $1 million. They're going to get more benefit in terms of this tax. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. Some senior citizens going to get a tax break. If you have a little kid, you're going to get about 2,000 tax break compared to 1,000 tax break. So it's kind of win and loss, But in a final nutshell, it added about about 5 trillion to the to American debt already. So, but Trump is not the only one. Every president does it. So at this time, 5 trillion to the American, debt already. So there's some winners and losers. Student loan is pretty much structured, that.
So what's happening with that birthright? That birthright one, I want to understand what the implications are.
The Supreme Court didn't quite rule in it, but what they said, it has to be based on single level. So they pivoted back, but you don't have right. The lower court doesn't have right to truncate what Trump wants to do. So it's kind of, if I'm not read in detail.
So what is the intention of Trump? What does Trump want to do with the birthright ruling? What does he want?
He said, birthright does not give you. We come here and have a kid, they shouldn't be citizen automatic, because in American Constitution, if you come here and have a kid, it's going to be a citizen automatic. So he wants to remove that. That's
from now on, or he wants to go back.
I don't know his intention about that. That I can't tell you. Maybe some people I don't know.
No, it's from now on when the bill is signed, or from now when the bill is signed. I can't tell someone that. Yeah, when the bill is signed. But now, citizen right now.
It's from now on.
Yeah, from now on.
Not in retrospect.
Supreme Court didn't decide on that.
It's for the new.
That's where we are right now.
For the new ones, yeah.
For the new ones.
Yeah.
So does it have any implication on the way the birthright rule is currently being applied? Because it does, from what I gather, it was all the way back during the time of slavery and all that. So whom were those that law put in place for? And would it affect them based on the fact that he wants to start?
No. That's why we said it's not being applicable. It's not being applied.
It's not being applicable as of right now.
In retrospect, the even the bill that was signed recently, the new law, the new budget, or entire law, some of it will be challenged in the law court, especially the portion that has to do with the birthright, because the part of it has been taken to the Supreme Court. But the substantial case of the issue of the birthright has not been determined by the Supreme Court. It still has to go back to the lower court. But the issue
Who would do turn by turn now?
The issue they decide at the Supreme Court is the issue of a federal high court issuing a universal injunction. That means it has to be jurisdictional. And if you want to challenge a case, it probably has to be on individual basis or a class suit. So it just does because someone is challenging a case in a particular state. A judge in that state now using an injunction that is going to affect the whole country. So the Supreme Court has decided on that, and then has to come to that. So you can only issue
it's an injunction issued to the
you can only issue an injunction within the jurisdiction whereby
hold
you
on.
have.
Let's do turn by turn.
Let's make it turn by turn. Oga Ike hasn't said anything. Welcome, Oga Ike, since he just came in, and we're going to be closing soon. But you're not going to get a lot of time. You're going to have about 3 minutes. Oga Ike, sorry about that. So, what do you make of this birthright law? Because I'm concerned that once you start changing some things in the background, then you don't know what the extremists will start looking to do to that birthright law before they start saying Black people don't have citizenship, they demote them back to slave status. You never know these people. This how they start shifting the goalpost bit by bit. So, what do you make of it, and do you understand more about what their intentions are?
He's muted. He's muted.
You're muted, though. You're muted.
Good evening, everybody. I think for that a lot of people from other countries of the world, they like to go to America to give birth so that their children can become American citizens. I don't think it has anything to do really with the Black Americans. I think it's mostly Nigerian people who come from foreign countries who have the money to go to the US for their spouse to give birth in America so that their kids can become American citizens. So I think that's that bill. That's what I think is the bill is. The people in the US might be able to, educate us more. But I think it's good because if former governor of Kogi State said he built a world-class hospital and now he want to go to treatment, he want to go outside Nigeria for treatment, why can't he use the hospital he called world-class to treat himself in Nigeria? So I think that but America uses that also to America is a country, is a nation of immigrants. So I don't really know how it's going to work out, because America is a nation of immigrants. So majority people in America are from one way. 75% or even up to 80% are, immigrants from different parts of the world. So it's a nation of immigrants, and they can't stop that. But Trump is Trump. He can always have his way. The court, the Supreme Court, if Trump is trumping everybody, including the court. So what can we say if he eventually has that forefathers? I think it's only mostly for people from outside, not really, the Black Americans or or the people that are already citizens that their kids are born there. That's my understanding about what the bill is all about.
So let me make you understand a little, because I speak with so many guys I work with. All right. They are, and I see it also, what's going on in this country, right? We see like when this bill was raised, all right, for you to be born here and have that, even though you are here, all right, even though you live here for 20 years, all right, either one of the parents, either the father or the mother, must be a green card holder or a citizen. If both of you are illegal here, the child can never be a citizen. If both of you don't have a paper, you don't have a green card, you don't have a citizenship, the child is born here cannot be, even if you spend here for 200 years, they are not citizenship, they can be deported anytime. The child is born here. But it was not like this before. Why it was before, you see some people, they are illegal here, husband and wife, they don't have paper, they have 6 children. They don't pay tax, they don't pay this. All the children will be under government care. So that was when I speak to some of people I work with, that's what their explanation. And it's also happened. This also affects our big men in Nigeria. Most of them, when their wife is pregnant, they will just send the wife here to come and give birth and this and do this and do that, so that children can be. All the politicians in Nigeria are children that are American citizens. If you watch it, look at it, all the politicians in Nigeria, all their children are American citizens. They just send them here to give birth and go back to Nigeria. They can come with their passport and school here. So it's going to stop number one on that one. But another one is a political move. This is a political move also. I tell you, I'm in a race state for the next 2 election cycle. Those children born 10 years ago, 20 years ago, all right, by immigrants, they will take over Texas, because everywhere is already going blue here already. So there's a political move that is all these tasks and this is also among, because I don't see, for me, I pity sometime you be working hard 12-hour shifts sometime, making money, all right, somebody else is busy in the house having 8 children, all right, and they will use their money, the task they get from you to start, take care of that. What some of them are complaining here. So that's the way I say it. It has nothing to do with people that have been here or the back America that have been here for a long time. It has nothing to do with people that also a citizen. It's just when they passing to be moving forward, this is what's going to happen. The father or the mother, one of them must be a taxpayer. A taxpayer is where you have social security, you have your citizenship, you have to be a taxpayer. One of the both parents must be a taxpayer for the child to qualify to be a citizen. If you like stay here, so that what I understand, that what I had. So that's just it.
Okay. I think you're right there, but there's always a chance that the next person or maybe a Trump will decide that, you know what, African Americans that were supposed to be born here, and because of that they are citizens, that maybe the law was not interpreted properly, and they start changing the status. Or some people that were granted citizenship before, they start changing their status. And this could get very hairy.
You are going too far. You are going too far. Don't talk to
America.
You think so? Okay.
You are going too far.
So.
This is America. This is not Nigeria.
Yeah, but the question is, why would they stop undocumented? Sorry, why would they stop people that are coming in now from being able to have their children?
No, people that live here. Not people that are coming in. People that live here.
He said this is not Nigeria. What did they do with the bill? Rubber stamp. It's not rubber stamp that in Nigeria.
So what I mean, before you stand up and pass us,
let's allow you to speak. So
it will be review and all this. What I mean, but Nigeria, someone will just come out and pass whatever they do. Here I must go. This thing we are saying now, you have been over like 6 months, a year. They have been going about it. They don't just come up now. That's what I mean. People have looked at it for more than a year.
Let's bring Ovie in. Ovie. So what do you make of this? I think, Ovie, you probably have an in-depth knowledge of some of these things because you tend to watch out for these things. What are the implications? Could this be a kind of slippery slope where this law could be used in other ways? Or are there other laws that could be stripped away that could affect the Black people in America?
Well, let me take us to class. Tonight, if you remember, I think from last week or 2 weeks ago, I bring us to pace on how change is coming. That America go through changes socioeconomically every 50 years and institutionally every 80 years. So that's this is the period. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I recommended 2 books for people to go and read. One of the famous one is about Project 2025. If you remember, during the campaign, Project 2025, during the BET, the actress Taraji P. Yanson, or whatever they call her, she made mention of Project 2025, and she said it is not a joke, y'all. Look it up. As soon as she made that night that she made that statement, the website that accommodates that Project 2025, the traffic skyrocketed. That was when Trump came out during the campaign and practically distanced himself from that project. But that is a project that was well put together by think tanks or partisan think tanks over the years. Now, tonight I also told you about a book that you should go and read by George Judge Friedman, right? The Calm Before the Storm. In that book, the man actually make a case for what is happening right now, because the Project 2025 give a detail already. Trump has actually implemented 50% of what is on Project 2025 by the executive order. And I'll tell you why his own change, why it's going to be with us for the next maybe 80 to 100 years. And George Freeman said, America is a country in which the storm is essential to clear the way for the calm, because Americans obsessed with the present and the future have difficulty remembering the past. They will all believe that there has never been a time as uncivil and tense as this one. Now, what the man was trying to tell us there is every 80 years, America they change. Let's start with the first change, which is the American Revolution that established the republic, the Constitution, Republican Constitution. That's exactly what bettered the country. It was called the birth of America. 80 years later was what led to the Civil War of America. It was named the rebirth of America. What happened is that 80 years empowered the federal government over the colonies. And if we remember clearly, after the Civil War, what happened? The Union military had to occupy the South to make sure the agreement and the benefit of what they fight for are to be implemented. Now, fast forward to that era from when they empowered the federal government. 80 years later was the Second World War. Now, the Second World War actually established Americas over the Eurasia and everything. But the most important thing there is the president.
Second World War.
Second World War. Sorry, that's 80 years later. The most important thing is that the president at that time, Roosevelt, served 3 times. For now, die. If not, if was he win again 4 times. So if you listen,
are you telling me that it was 80 years after this the Civil War that we had the Second World War?
1860s and 1940s.
Wow, it felt in my mind. I thought it was a lot longer than that. Wow.
No. So one thing we should take note about that period is the president at that time, Roosevelt, served 3 times until he died. Why? Because he came in 1933 through the Depression, took us out, then took America into the Second World War, right? Now, if you listen to people like Steve Bannon, right, who was at the forefront of Trump 2028, one argument is making that we are state of war, that the connected part of the Third World War has already started. So what he's saying that after this Trump first time, maybe again after the Trump first time, they will nominate him again. Now, before you argue that, let's talk about what his own presidency represents, because power they shift. The shift of this 80 years or the next 80 years is to empower the president, the executive. Remember, they gained the freedom, empower the federation, went into the conquering. Then now they want to empower the executive. Now, before people could say, "Oh, Trump is a dictator," last year, before Biden left office, Supreme Court also altered the Constitution and give presidency ability to do and undo without any charges, pretty much. If you remember clearly, we talked about it here.
Before he left office, and that was against the will of Biden, by the way.
Biden he was a sitting president.
But they knew the danger that was going to pose.
So that is the beginning. So the victory that you saw last week by the Supreme Court is from the Supreme Court is to empower the executive, that no judge, it doesn't matter which colony that judge represents, cannot just wake up one day and decide to say the people's president, the people's mandate cannot carry out whatever they voted him for. Right? So that was the victory. Coming to your core question.
We have to round up.
Coming to your core question of the birthright citizenship. Now, there's 3 ways, because now change they come. Things has to change, including the immigration system. Everything has to be altered. Everything, as we know it in America, have to be altered, from employment to service to it doesn't matter. Everything has to change. That's why they want to give the president power. So now there's 3 ways to actually alter that better citizenship, right? Constitution, Congress, or the president, the executive power. The executive power is what Trump wants to use. That's when he was taken to court. So the case is still on until November when the Supreme Court come back from their holiday. That's when they will develop. So it's still there. So either way, one of the 3 is going to happen. Either they will should alter the Constitution, or the Congress should act on it, or President should go ahead with executive order and stop it. But whether we like it or not, that change that people like us, who they call conspiracy, that I've been talking about, it's here. The summer is just getting hot. It's going to be way hotter because, again, it is not a guarantee that all these things will go.
You need to round up. We have to go close now.
So there's going to be a pushback, and you're already seeing the pushback, right? So
thank you for that. We're out of time. So gentlemen, I really appreciate you all for coming in. Kene, thank you for your contribution. Buddy, my apologies, you didn't have the chance to speak a lot.
I've not contributed on this one.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Kene. Ovie, thank you for your, I was learning. I did learn a few things. I didn't even know that the Civil War was just for 80 years removed from the Second World War. That wasn't that long, I must say. Ike that came in, show, all the people that came in, I really appreciate you all for coming in. I can't all say all the names that were there. Nobody donated. All these Nigerians, they now give shishi. I don't know whether they're all becoming obedient now. What is going on? Okay, they are obedient now. I see you there. Sure, I see you there. Info, Oscar Blackbone, all of you. I really appreciate you for joining us today. We have to round up for now. Until next week, we'll catch you again. Let's say goodbye for today. Thank you. Bye.